Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday the 24th of April 2026. I'm Graham Hughes. You're watching Morning Brew on Hughes of the World. How are you all doing this morning? We've got Sarah in the chat there. Who's got to go to a doctor's appointment. So hopefully we can keep you until you need to go, Sarah. Good morning to you. Martin Harrow's in the chat as well. So is Diz. We've also got Pygmalion and Liam Devlin. And Saz as well. Did I already say? No, Saz. Hello, Saz47A. Miss Paula Thomas in there as well. Hello. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat here, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button, wait for 1 minute, and then you will be subscribed. So today, obviously, going to be talking about something that's quite controversial. Trigger warnings for everyone. We're going to be talking a lot of personal stuff today. We're talking about the assisted dying bill, which is now been assisted in dying by the House of Lords, still not ironically enough. So if that sounds a bit heavy for you, you're under no obligation to watch this. Please maybe check in again later on when we're looking at the papers. Not that that's going to cheer you up. I mean, seriously, the papers today are pretty fucking grim. But let's talk about this, and then we'll talk about all the stuff that's in the news, and we'll try and get through it together. The public should decide in a referendum, says DJ Marcy Moo. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't necessarily agree with that because I find that referendums are fucking horrible. I don't think they're democratic. Invariably, whichever side spends the most on advertising wins. You know, it's like thinking that it's democratic that that we can only have one particular chocolate bar rather than the other because one chocolate bar is made by Cadbury's and the other is made by a smaller manufacturer who can't spend as much money on the advertising, or maybe just does a really shit advertising campaign. Yeah, that bothers me. I don't like referendums. As we saw 10 years ago with the Brexit referendum, we're still sort of reeling from the not just the economic effects of that, which are obviously diabolical, but also the sociological effects of it, in that the relationships between especially the younger generation, the older generations. Not all boomers, quickly put that in before I get shouted at. Not all boomers. Just most of them. Just the majority, that's all. It's only a majority. But that's the thing, isn't it? Like, but yeah. So I think, I look back to what happened during the Scottish independence referendum of 2014, and same sort of thing. You have families turning against each other. You got lifelong friendships that were destroyed by that one issue. And I think that the good thing about our shonky electoral system, most people only indulge in it once every 5 years, and it's for a raft of policies. It's more like a general set of policies. Like if you want to be more progressive, you'll go for Labour or the Greens. If you want everything to remain the same, I think you vote for the Lib Dems. If you want things to change so it's better for the filthy rich and the Nepo babies and the privately educated toffs, then you definitely vote for Tory. And if you just want to fuck the country, like fuck it so hard it'll never walk again, you vote for refuck, because that's what they do. They just fuck the country. That's what refuck have got planned for us all. Martin says, hi, SG. Sunny in Liverpool too, but oh God, I was out in Durham like yesterday evening, and it was fucking freezing. It was absolutely freezing. Came third in the pub quiz, which was all right. I only lost to the second team by 2 points. Well, two questions worth of points. And I fucked up a couple of questions that I really shouldn't have fucked up. But I was on my own, to be fair. Everyone else was in a team. But the winners, group of baldy 50-year-olds, and I was like, when I came in, I went, they're gonna win, and they absolutely smashed it, like by a ridiculous amount of points. And I said to the quizmaster afterwards, like, I asked what the points were, and he said, oh yeah, that team comes every week, they always win. And I'm like, oh. And do you know what? It becomes the thing then when it's like you don't want to go. It's like, if you're really, really, really good at pool, take it down a bit when you're playing someone who's not great at pool, because otherwise they're not going to enjoy the experience. They're not going to enjoy having a game of pool if you're just going to, you know, 8-ball them. Just don't do it. My top tip to you: just don't do it. Don't fucking do it. You like darts as well. Well, if you're particularly good at stuff, right? Save the awesomeness for the professional circuit. Otherwise, you just ruin everyone else's fun, especially when it's like not for anything. Do you know what I mean? 20 quid behind the bar. Anyway, right. The plebiscite was the instrument of dictators, says Miss Paula Thomas. Yeah, that's another thing as well, which doesn't do referendums or referenda any favours at all, because the Nazis did love them, absolutely love them. Should Hitler be the Führer? And it was like, yeah, and the circle for yeah was like this big, and the circle for nine was like a dot. Because I have to leave early, have a super chat. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's very kind of you. You can stay here for an hour, I think. Depends how far it is to your docs. Doctor said my mum had months to live in 1990 from cancer. She passed in November 2015. Yeah. My mum was given a year and lasted 2 months. Well, yeah. So obviously we've all got our own deeply personal and deeply emotional and emotive experiences of someone that we love dying. No one has ever got this far in life, I don't think, without having that painful experience. But so for a lot of us, this isn't an abstract policy, especially not for me. Since September 2020, so for 5.5 years now, my dad has been receiving palliative care because he has very, very, very advanced dementia. He was diagnosed 10 years ago. For the first 4 years, he was, you know, losing his memory. He was forgetting who people were, but he was active. He was mobile. You could get him out to the park. You could take him in the car somewhere. But then after September 2020, he's literally just been at home the whole time under effective house arrest, I suppose you could call it. He can't speak. He can't explain his discomfort. He can't tell us if he's in pain, frightened, confused, suffering. He cannot. He's got no way of letting us know that anymore. No signal that he can send. If you think about a pet or an animal, if the animal is in pain, you will know about it. They will make it very clear that they are in pain. But sometimes with dementia, it gets to a point where you just don't know. You just don't know. And there's a certain cruelty in dementia that is different from cancer, from other things that people die of, in that it's not just memory loss. It's a slow dismantling of the person that you knew. That language goes, independence goes, recognition goes, dignity goes. Like, there's no dignity in it whatsoever. It's quite incredibly undignified. Like, Dad can't control his functions. He has to have carers come 4 times a day to clean him. And families, you know, they watch someone disappear in slow motion, and that is not something I want for myself, and it's not something I want for my family to have to go through. And a huge number of people, including myself, are not afraid of death. That is, you know, I know that sounds all like bravado. Oh, I'm not afraid to die. But I take the sort of philosophical take on this from Samuel Clements, from Mark Twain, who said he's not afraid of death because he assumes it'll be a bit like before he was born. You know, not he was dead for billions of years before his birth, and he didn't find it too inconvenient. So what people are afraid of, like people like me, and I know it's not everyone. I know some people are absolutely mortally afraid of death and never want it to happen and do all this mad shit to try and make themselves live forever, like Peter Thiel. I don't know, he injects the blood of younger men or something fucking crazy like that. What people are afraid of, and what I'm afraid of, is prolonged suffering, loss of autonomy, being trapped inside a body or a mind that no longer functions, and that actively causes me pain, and there's nothing I can do about it, because there's one word to describe that, and it's torture. That's the word. It's torture. Graham, would you like to be tortured for the last 5 years of your life? Every single day, every waking moment, would you like to be tortured? Would you like to be in pain? Have pain inflicted on you by your own body? No, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't actually want that for my worst enemy. Honestly, I wouldn't want that for Trump. I wouldn't want that for Farage, you know. I mean, I'd like them to suffer a little bit, but no, that's too much. And here's the central question: who owns you? Who owns your body? Who owns your mind? Your family, your doctor, the state, unelected peers in the House of Lords, or you? And if we're going to talk about freedom, we're going to talk about liberty, then the one thing that you should own in your life is your body. That is it. And what you do with your body, so long as it's not hurting anybody else, should be your choice. And God, these politicians love to take away that choice, don't they? They say, "Oh, you can't take drugs. Why not? Because you might get addicted, or people get addicted to gambling. Well, and you legalize that, you make a lot of money out of it. Oh well, people get injured playing, doing boxing. Did they injure themselves? Are you gonna outlaw boxing? Are you? Because it's bad for people. You talk about the nanny state. It's the same people who talk about the nanny state also think that drugs should all remain illegal forever. And I disagree with that. Never taken any illegal drugs in my life. Never smoked a spliff. Never snorted a line. Never injected anything, except had my vaccinations, which are the greatest drug because they stop you dying, especially when you're traveling around sub-Saharan Africa. Or just, I don't know, going to a nursery in America right now. But yeah, I genuinely believe that drugs should be legalized for the reason, and the reasons given for them not being legalized is things like they ruin people's lives. And I'm like, yeah, so does falling in love with the wrong person. In fact, I would wager that ruins more people's lives. Are you going to outlaw that? You talk to me about a nanny state, which I do not believe we have a nanny state in that respect. In that I'm not allowed to say what I want to say. I am. I'm free. I can come on the internet and I can say all this shit. Couldn't do this in Russia. Couldn't call Vladimir Putin a cunt in Russia. I'd be killed, literally killed for saying that. But I live in the UK, so I have some modicum of freedom. I don't believe we live in a nanny state when the government say we're going to stop kids from smoking. Good, stop them from smoking. That's fine, But I think that smoking should be banned in public places. I think the only place you should be able to smoke is your own home. That is it. And if you got kids in that house, you're not even allowed to smoke there. Unless you want a big fuck off fine. Or go to jail for endangering the lives of your children. So, yeah. Tattoos. People get fucking shit tattoos. I can't stop them. I'm not going to. People get shit plastic surgery. They don't look younger. They look weirder. But I can't stop them. It's their body. It's their choice. Same with abortions. It's not my call to make for someone else. Yet people want to make that call on behalf of other people. And euthanasia goes to the heart of all this. Because this isn't a lifestyle choice. This isn't like a nice to have. This is something that could prevent years and years of torture, at the end of which you're going to motherfucking die anyway. You're not going to get better from dementia. You're just not. And as long as there are provisos put in place so that it can't be, the system can't be abused. And don't forget, there will be people who will try to abuse it, which is why they put things in place to make sure that any abuse would hopefully be found before it actually happens. But if it is found, it's a criminal offence. It's a criminal offence, and you could go to jail for manslaughter if you push someone to go for assisted suicide. But here's the thing: it's not illegal in this country to push someone to suicide. Do you know that? There are certain laws that you could possibly bring in, but there isn't a specific law saying if you push someone to take their own life, that you can actually, unless they have like a smoking gun where it says kill yourself or I'm going to kill your kids or something like that, right? that level of coercion, right? But if it's simply, if it's something, a case of an ex, a partner, a stalker who is harassing someone and they take their own lives, there's no way in British law to prove what was in the mind of the person who took their life. So let's get this straight, right? If you want to take yourself out because of someone else's coercion against you, that's not illegal at the moment against the person who's doing that, as long as they don't make it overt, as long as they don't say, I want you to take yourself out. Do you understand, right? I've gone through this with my friend who's a judge, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked to find out that there isn't a specific law against your actions leading to someone taking their own life. And yet, when it's a case of I, without any coercion whatsoever, want to have it down on paper that if I get dementia, that leave me alone for a few years, let me just wander around having a great time, thinking I'm drunk. I don't know. But once I'm in palliative care and I can't speak and I can't emote, I can't explain, I can't even cry out when I'm in discomfort. No, I want to have a good death, a dignified death. I don't see why the state has any say over that, apart from making damn sure that I haven't been coerced into making that statement, into making that my will. And Daylight says, yeah, when doesn't do no harm end. And Saz says a £2 super chat. Thank you very much, Saz. Yeah, because you're right about the do not harm. I'm pretty sure that leaving someone alive for 5 years when they could be in pain every moment of every day, I'm pretty sure that is harm, isn't it? Isn't it? And I just find it crazy that if my dog is in pain, I can take my dog to the vet and the vet can say, look, I'm afraid they're not going to make it. And the dog can have a more dignified death than a human being. How is that right? In my head, I'd have, my friends and family, or just my family, around, and I would be given whatever it is, sends me to sleep, and I just don't wake up on a date of my choosing, maybe, before I go that far down the road of dementia. I want that in place. And by the way, when we talk about dementia, this is not something that's going to go away anytime soon. America has cut funding for any kind of stem cell research into stopping vascular dementia or Alzheimer's. They have they've made it so that if people are researching a particular arm of against dementia, they have to keep everything separate. If it's got any money coming from the government, because the government can't have anything to do with any kind of fetal tissue, any kind of stem cells that have come from a fetus. They can't have that, right? So it's a long way off before we get any kind of major breakthrough. And early onset dementia amongst people under the age of 45 has increased in recent years by 400%. I'm not fucking around here. This is really, really serious. This isn't just people aren't dying of smallpox, people aren't dying of cholera, people aren't dying of tuberculosis, so they die of cancer and dementia, Parkinson's as well. No, this is early onset because of the way we're living our lives at the moment. It could be all the doom scrolling. I don't know. Saz, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Morning coffee is pure heaven, says person. Yeah. My dad was given 2 weeks, lasted 2 weeks. He remained compass mentis and cheerful. The nurses later commented they were surprised how little painkillers he'd asked for. Yeah, John. If I had the choice, and this is the thing that there is, I have absolutely no choice in the manner of me carking it, do I? Unless I, take myself out, but I'm not, the plans to do that. I mean, no choice at all. No choice to make it something where it can be a shared experience for your family to say goodbye at a point where you can say goodbye to them and tell them it's okay. And we've had all that time together and no one can take that away from us. We got confetti. So just a little bit of levity for quite a deep, quite a heavy topic today. Confetti, yay! Thanks very much. Everyone's chipped in for the confetti. It's very kind of you. Get rid of the confetti, Graham. It's all over the screen. That's the key. The passive verb. I will be given no thought for the person living afterwards with the giving. Nervous time waiting to see if I'm successful with my viewing of a flat yesterday. Fingers crossed for you, Sarah. But you're expecting people who chose a career-saving life to take yours for you. No, they took a career to do no harm. That's the line. Do no harm. What's more harmful? Someone going out on their own terms, peacefully, painlessly, or 5 years of torture. Every single waking moment of every day. Imagine having an itch you can't scratch and having that all the time. Just, my dad might have tinnitus. I don't know. He might just be hearing like very, very loud bells in his ears. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He can't explain. He can't tell anyone. So yeah, vets. I mean, they make this joke, don't they, about vets? They go into the veterinary profession because they love animals and they want to save them, and then they spend half the time killing them. But doctors at some point have to respect the DNR notice. They have to respect that. Do not resuscitate. And also the way that a lot of people go out in palliative care is an overdose of heroin, effectively. They've got a button that they press that will release morphine, and when they get to the last few hours, the nurses quite often turn off the limiter for it. So a lot of people who die of cancer actually die of an overdose, but they die in their sleep. They fall asleep. And doctors and nurses have done that for years. That's nothing new. Living with intractable pain, which means it's beyond just intense or severe, impacts every aspect of my life. The most humane things doctors could do for me is to actually treat my pain. Yeah, Suzanne Casey, and your compos mentis, you can explain. I'm sorry, I am genuinely sorry that you're living like that. You can explain what's happening and how it feels. If you couldn't, and you were going to die anyway, you're going to slowly waste away. And this is the thing about like gay marriage or abortion. Like, you don't like it, okay? Don't have one. Don't get gay married. Don't have an abortion. You don't like this? Fine. Make a statement to your solicitor saying that you do not want an any circumstances assisted dying. You do not want that, and that will have to be respected by law. And people will go, well, what about this? What about that? What about when people do this? And I'm like, yeah, any system will, of course, have some people in it who will try and manipulate the system to their own evil ends. And we just need to have a really, really robust system in place so people can't do that. So the bill was introduced by Kim Leadbeater, who is the sister of Joe Cox, the MP, mother of two, who was stabbed to death by a Farage supporter, a Faragist in 2016 in the run-up to the Farage referendum. Maybe I should stop calling them refuckers. Maybe I should just call them Faragists, because it's just him, isn't it? It's just his party. It won't survive without him. So I'll call them a Faragist. It's like in America, there are no Republicans anymore. It's just Trumpists. trumpets. Um, stripping of my dignity is really cruel and unusual. I'm sorry, Suzanne. That is really shit, and I hope you can get the treatment that you require for your pain. Just don't. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I mean, I think that there is a element of medical misogyny, sexism. I'm hearing loads of cases about women who complain about pains, and they're told to, oh, it's this, it's that, it's period pain, or it's, you're getting older, or something like that, and it's turned out to be something really fucking serious. Whereas if a bloke turns up at the doctor's like, oh my god, gotta get you to hospital immediately. Yeah. Person impersonator, Suzanne sympathies, chronic pain, but it's moderate, not intense. They get to be down at that level. The unendingness is awful, says person impersonator. Yeah, again, absolute sympathy. Yeah. Greg, I was the person who gave the last morphine dose to my father when he was dying of cancer, says Suzanne. Sarah says, I wish you could upload pictures to chat, as the view from the lounge of the flat, it was stunning, as well as the flat. Oh, that's awesome. Medical misogyny, ding, 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 ding. Also, the fact that it has pretty much been outlawed in most places to actually treat pain effectively. Yeah. It's hard to say, like, the NHS needs an overhaul, but it's not quite that. There needs to be better training, better understanding, better resources that are given to everyone, but particularly to women, by the NHS, because at the moment it's a fucking lottery. It's a lottery. It just depends what doctor you get. I mean, you might have a surgery that's got like 7 different doctors, and one day you might go in and get a really good doctor, and they give you the help and the treatment that you deserve and that you deserve. And you'll go in another day, you get a really shit doctor who doesn't give a fuck, who's like, oh, I'm late for my lunch. Oh, just take some painkillers, just take a couple of aspirin, you'll be fine. And I've spoken to doctors who can be quite dismissive, especially about people who are younger. Between the age of sort of 18 and 50, doctors are like, whatever, they'll be fine. Because 99 times out of 100 of those particular ages it's very unusual for someone between those ages to get Parkinson's, to get dementia, to get multiple sclerosis. And when they do, I suppose that it's not the first thing that the doctors think of. I think there's a joke that runs through the TV show House where they go, it's never lupus. Never lupus. There's a form of lupus called Hughes syndrome that was named after Dr. Graham Hughes. It wasn't me, some other bloke, but there you go. I was left for years with an undiagnosed ovarian cyst. It nearly killed me. I was told that women have different tolerances of normal pain. K8 Nimbus. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. I mean, I'd like to say that's unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That the way that women in particular get dismissed by some in the medical profession is really fucking grim. And don't forget, like, dosages of medicines and things like that, it's all tested on men, not women. It's all tested on men. All tested on the average man. In the same way that seatbelts in cars are tested on the average man. They're not tested on women. I don't even think, even to this point now, that they have fully functioning female crash test dummies in America that are mandatory for car companies to test the cars with. They just use a child doll. They use a boy child doll that's been slightly modified, which isn't what you need for these things. These dolls aren't just mannequins. They're not just like something you get from a shop window and put it into a car. They're actually they're filled with sensors and that they cost a lot of money to make. And the car companies don't really have any interest in making cars less lethal for women. But the stats don't lie. Women are way more likely to be injured in a car crash than men. Women are much more likely to die in a car crash than men. And it's just because of the ergonomics of the car is built around the physique of a man. The ergonomics of everyday life is built around the physique of a man. Where doorknobs are, where the shelves are, how high they are. I was in London last week, and I needed to go to the loo. And it was one of them where it's coming into the train station, and you're like, should I go into the loo now? I should have probably gone into the loo on the train, but whatever. I thought I don't need to go that badly. I'll get to be doing the podcast, and then I'll go there. And then I thought, oh, what if I get stuck in the underground for half an hour? In a tunnel or something. So I go to the toilets in King's Cross, right? And if you know King's Cross at all, you know where the toilets are. So you got the board on your right, and everyone's looking up at it to know which train platform to run to. And there's this ridiculous game you play in our train stations in London. You got to walk past that, and you got to walk past the Harry Potter thing where there's the trolley halfway through the wall, and there's a Harry Potter shop selling overpriced gizmos. And the queue for the toilet came all the way out the toilet, all the way to almost join up with the queue for the Harry Potter experience thing. It was probably about 40 women, 40 women queuing up. For the women's. Do you know what the queue was for the men's? No queue at all. No queue whatsoever. Imbaked, sexist, misogynistic architecture. And this is something that blows my mind when people go, oh, trans women shouldn't be using the girls' bathrooms. I'm thinking, if you're prepared to wait 40 minutes to go for a piss when you're absolutely fucking desperate, that's not like, some weird lifestyle choice. That is because that's the toilet that you're supposed to use, and you literally can't use the other one. Because obviously, if you walk into the men's as a woman, people will go, "Oh, you shouldn't be in here." Men are very protective about their space as well, aren't they? Especially if the men were having to queue to go to the toilet. Although, when I was a kid, we used to go to the crazy house. The girls used to use the men's toilets all the time, just because there was no queue for it. Well, there you go. Architectural sexism is alive and well and living in King's Cross Station. But you see this across the board. I've been to lots of sporting events, gigs. I was at the Blair gig a few years ago at Wembley, and there was a massive queue for the women's toilets. And that was in Wembley Stadium, which was only built in the fucking 90s. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't even say, well, the King's Cross is a Victorian train station, so what are you expecting? I'm like, yeah. Lightening up. Oh, I meant laughing up, says Suzanne Casey. I had a coil fitted. I could only stand it for 11 days. I had to go to hospital and get it removed. I was very much sneered at, very much, well, have children and the pain will be less, but I don't want kids. I've obviously the plural of anecdote isn't data, but I know people who've had coils fitted and had to take them out because they're just horrible, and especially but yeah, that is being sneered at because something that's been inserted in you is really fucking uncomfortable is just fucking yeah. K8 Nimbus, that it then left my back foot. 2 discs went. They screwed up the operation, left me unable to walk for a year. I now have permanent nerve damage. Shit, that's really fucking shit. I'm sorry, K8 Nimbus. All I would say is this is MSG. Please have some hugs. I have suffered all sorts of women's gynecological issues, and the lack of interest from most docs is shocking. Yeah, I think this is something that wherever we stand on euthanasia, we can all agree on the fact that medical misogyny is a thing and needs to be seriously looked at. Volvo allowed everyone to use the 3-point seatbelt when they invented it. They did. They didn't. If it had been invented by an American company, they would have definitely patented it. There's a particular Volvo that's never killed anyone, isn't there? Is there a Volvo that's been, it may have been involved in crashes, but no one's ever died in that particular Volvo? It's a particular model of Volvo that's known as it's like death proof or something. Am I making this up? Is this a real thing? I went with lots of different GPs, and would say 70% of them are caring. The others are the popular ones that give out meds like Smarties and always hit their KPIs. Strats for us, women of colour, particularly Asian and Black and Asian women, face significant racial disparities in maternity care, often experiencing dismissed pain levels. Yeah, strats for us, absolutely. Black women are more likely to die in childbirth than white women. Why is that? What is going on there? Again, medical misogyny, medical racism, prejudices that people have, and this idea that when people talk about having pain, they're either making it up or they should man up, woman up, and just grit their teeth and get on with it. And that attitude, it seeps into this. I've spoken about this before. Like, honestly, if men gave birth, they would have all the medicine, all the fucking drugs. Whereas women are shamed if they have drugs to give birth. I'm not talking about heroin. I'm not talking about coke. I'm not talking about crystal meth. But if women like to brag, some women like to brag that they gave birth without any painkillers, and I'm like, well, whoop-de-fucking-do for you. Well done for you. But that attitude of like there's some kind of weakness in wanting to have pain relief when giving birth, when you're literally pushing a baseball out of your genitals. Like, what the fuck? Why would you not? Sorry, a basketball, not a baseball, a basketball. Fucking hell, it was a baseball. It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? You're pushing something quite significant out of an opening of your body that isn't quite big enough because women's vaginas haven't evolved at the same rate as the heads, the brains of newborn babies. It's a case of runaway sexual selection, apparently. Wembley was rebuilt after 2000. Oh, sorry, the 2000s then. By the way, I've been in motorway services in France where women get so fed up of queuing they walk straight into the gents. Yeah. That happens as well. The crazy house is called Electric Warehouse, still the same though. I don't know why they changed the name, but well, there you go. Jimmy says, I'm begging to be sterilised. I don't want kids, but constantly told I'll change my mind. I've already changed it once. I won't be changing it again. And that's it. I mean, it's your body. And if you want that, you should be able to have that. And if it was a man going in and saying, I want my tubes tied, they wouldn't have any problem with it. They go, okay, we'll do that now. But when it's a woman, they're like, oh, well, you might change your mind. And this is something that a lot of people in the trans community experience, this idea that we can't let people do things because they might regret it. Who gives a fuck? I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to be harsh about this, but like, then that's their fucking decision, isn't it? It's like getting a fucking shit tattoo. It's going to be fucking hard to fucking get rid of that. You might change your mind. The stats are there if you look at it. The people who regret having knee surgery is 20%. So 1 in 5 people who have knee surgery regret having it. The number of people who regret getting gender-affirming surgery, it's 1%. It's fuck all. But yeah, they're very much prepared to parade one of those 1%ers on the TV, on the radio, in the media. Hey, look at this person. They changed their gender and then now they want to change it back. Ha ha! The fool. If it's people's choice. It's people's choice. If they are an adult and they are sane and they want to do something, then it's their choice. And the best thing we can do is to give them the support that they need to get through it. A lot of the people who regret having gender affirming care, it's not because of the actual surgery. It's not because of the way their bodies look. It's because of the societal impact. People who have detransitioned always talk about number one reason, societal impact, the way that society treated them. That they were estranged from their friends and family. And it's why it's so important that we have, safe spaces like this where we can talk about this stuff and we can be welcoming and say, there's nothing wrong with being trans. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being black. There's nothing wrong with being not black. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing fundamentally wrong with any of those things. It's just who people are. There's nothing wrong with being left-handed or dyslexic or ADHD or autistic. It's just people are different. And yeah, we have to treat people differently depending on who they are, who they intrinsically are. And yes, that does mean calling someone who's gone through a gender transition, calling them by the right pronouns, and by their name that they want you to call them, not dead naming them like some twat, like some arsehole. A woman gets married, she changes her surname. I mean, it's a bit of a dickhead who says, "No, I'm going to call you by your maiden name for the rest of your life. You'll never." It's like, why? That's not my name. That's not my name. A detransitioner is not trans. It's completely on them. If for years they seeked to transition. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have some sympathy for people deciding it's not for them, but it's a bit late. It's a bit late at that point. But this goes back to sort of legalizing drugs or legalizing abortion. Making abortion illegal doesn't stop abortions. It just stops safe abortions. Making drugs illegal doesn't stop people taking drugs. If people want to take drugs, they will fucking take drugs. Do you know what it does do, though? It stops people taking drugs safely. That's what it does. Abortion bans stop women having abortions safely. So, yeah. The pain is experienced in the body. The brain just interprets the messages. Yeah. I'm told that because I have PTSD, my pain is in my head. All pain is experienced in the brain. Doesn't mean I'm making it up, though. Yeah. I can't believe people say that. K8 Nimbus, I'm really sorry. I mean, it's just... Oh. So, okay. All pain's in your head, right? If your body is hurting in a particular place, there are medicines that you can take. There's paracetamol, ibuprofen, aspirin, heroin, whatever you want to take, right? That will dull that pain or get rid of it entirely, perhaps. If you are experiencing pain because of a mental health problem, then you need support for that in the same form that you'd need aspirin for something that was physical. You chopped your finger off or cutting vegetables. So you need support. You need mental health support, which is something that's not very forthcoming at the moment in our current health service. But if enough dickheads vote for the Faragist party, then you know what we're getting next, didn't you? Yeah, insurance, health insurance. Think you're going to get any medical? Do you think you're going to get any mental health care under Farage? No, that's all going to go away. That's all going to go away. So for people who say it couldn't get any worse, please, it totally can. It totally can. And I know a lot of people feel that way at the moment, especially in the trans community. But seriously, look at what's happening in America. And I don't say that to say, fucking vote Labour, because I don't think you should be voting Labour at the moment. I think Labour should deserve a good kicking in the next election. But yeah, please don't give up. Don't say, fuck yous all, because we do need people pushing Labour in the right direction. And you can do that internally or you can do that externally. Doesn't matter. But if we just sort of walk away from them and just go, you're a bunch of twats, I've got nothing to say to you, that's not as helpful as continuously bugging your local MP for, first of all, especially with Labour, for not being a bunch of gobshites when it comes to how they treat our trans sisters and brothers. So yeah, let's talk about this terminally ill adults brackets end of life bill. It was introduced by Kim Leadbeater, and it's terminally ill in England and Wales, expected to die within 6 months, could request medical assistance to end their life. This is not anyone can choose death. It is limited to adults with terminal diagnoses, not general suffering, not depression, not disability. This is really important. It is not disability, right? If you go in and say, I've a disability, I want to help you, I want you to help me end it, that would not be lawful. The safeguards included multiple medical assessments, not just the opinion of one doctor, multiple medical assessments, confirmation of terminal illness, proof of mental capacity when the decision is made, and evidence that the decision was voluntary and free from coercion. If coercion turns out to be the case before the person goes, or even afterwards, even worse afterwards, then the people coercing that person could be put on trial for their crime and put in jail for a very fucking long time. This was designed. It was designed to be narrow. It was designed to be a controlled end of life choice, not a free for all, not like Dignitas in Switzerland, where anyone can turn up, be as healthy as fuck, and say, "I just don't want to go on anymore. Can you help me out with that?" It wasn't going to be. That wasn't going to be the case. Supporters wanted a tightly defined law, not a slippery slope. And it passed the Commons in November 2024 to much celebration. The MPs backed the principle of the bill by a majority of 55. This was on a free vote, so it didn't matter what party you were with. There were no party whips on this. It got Commons approval in June 2025. It cleared the House of Commons with a majority of 23. And the elected chamber voted for it. Whatever your personal view on this, and obviously we've been talking about that, but whatever your personal view, MPs chosen by the voters supported it. A majority of MPs supported it. And why that matters is in a democracy, the House of Lords is supposed to revise and scrutinise, not permanently kill legislation backed by elected representatives. Now, what these 7 people in the House of Lords did, they added 1,200, they tabled 1,200 amendments. Now, no reasonable person in their right mind would look at that and say that is reasonable. That is clearly a concerted effort by 7 unelected lawmakers to kill a bill. Unelected lawmakers who are there to revise and scrutinise. They are not there to kill bills that have gone through the democratically elected House of Commons. That is a record, by the way, for a backbench bill. And today, today is the final committee day. It's the 14th committee day for this one bill, and it has run out of parliamentary time. No more debate time was allocated, and without further time, it dies in this session. This is what in America they call a pocket veto, something that the president can do, where he has to sign a law that's come through Congress, and he just doesn't sign it. And then he just lets the time run out. It's called a pocket veto. And this is what they've done. This unelected chamber of friends of the government of the day has decided that 7 of them, that they are going to override the will of the MPs who voted for this and the people who voted for those MPs. And it was deliberate obstruction. There should be a fucking law against this. A tiny group of peers effectively filibustered this bill to death. They talked it to death. And this was not scrutiny. This was motherfucking sabotage. Absolutely disgraceful. They were not fixing laws. They were deliberately using procedure to stop something they politically opposed. And Kem Leadbeater and supporters say this should not have been blocked by unelected peers. And Dignity in Dying is furious. The Lord is there to scrutinise, not, as I've said, to veto by attrition. And terminally ill people feel betrayed. Esther Ranson famously is pushing for this. People with terminal diagnoses told Parliament this might finally give them choice at the end of their life. Now they feel like that hope has been taken away. And we need to talk about the cruelty of forced suffering. If someone knows they are dying and they are mentally competent, why should the state force them to endure agony, to be tortured, be in chronic, unstoppable, acute pain and for the rest of their days? And even though those days are short, they can't make them shorter to make the pain go away earlier, even though the end of that journey is going to be the same destination. But you've got to endure the pain for 6 months, 2 years, 7 years, whatever it is. And the current reality is unequal, because just like with abortion, just like with gender affirming care, just like with marrying someone from another country, just like traveling, living, working, retiring around Europe, they did not take this right from themselves. If you are wealthy, you can go to Dignitas. It's there. Wealthy people take drugs all the time and they get away with it because they can afford it. They ever get caught, they just got a slap on the wrist. The rest of us, no. We're entering a world in which you can only be trans if you're rich. You can only marry someone from Germany or France or Spain or Italy or Greece if you're rich. A world in which you only get medical care if you're rich. Only rich people get a choice. That's the situation at the moment. And these 7 lords, peers of the realm, stopped the rest of us having that same choice that the rich already have. And you can talk exactly the same, abortion in America. If you're a rich kid and you get pregnant at the age of 14 and your dad's very rich, just fly to another state, have an abortion. Or not even have an abortion, just take a morning after pill. What do they call it? Plan B in America? Just have a morning after pill. And take it for a week or so, can't you, afterwards? Come home. Jobs are good. Viper Scott, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Hugs to all that need them. So shocked to hear some of the stories of folk in the chat. Hugs. Graham, hugs. Free hugs. Graham, yep, agree. We put down pets. Why can't the same rules apply to people? Yeah. I honestly, at the end of people's lives, I think we're treated worse than dogs. Captain Coconut, was it because those lords were a bit scared of their nieces putting them in a home before they're slaughtered? Well, no, one of them is Luciana Berger, who was the Liverpool MP, who ended up leaving the Labour Party because of anti-Semitism, which didn't happen, but, it kind of did, because there was another MP from Liverpool as well, Louise Ellman, who also left the Labour Party because of the anti-Semitism. She was Jewish. She was also a Liverpool MP. We lost half of our MPs because of anti-Semitism, but there was no anti-Semitism. Honest guff. But yeah, she's not old. She's the same age as me. I know a bloke who once went on a date with her. Very strange. He's a massive Tory as well. Simon Smith, name and shame, Baronesses of Lambeth, Baronesses Grey-Thompson, Lord Carlisle of Berriew, Baroness Coffey, Lord Goodman of Wickham, Lord Moylan, and Lord Stanhurst. Yeah. But unfortunately, there's Baroness Finlay of Clandaff. Sorry, Clandaff. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, I believe Louise Ellman was one of them. What are the actual names? Not the titles, because Lord Faulkner was one of the people pushing the bill through as best he could. Lord Faulkner's top bloke. He's a Lib Dem, and he was very active in the campaign to keep us in the EU. Unfortunately, that was not successful. But if you're rich, you can still live in the EU. You can still do whatever you want. You can stay there as long as you like if you're rich. It's not this 3 months and 6 months nonsense. You can stay there as long as you like. It's fine. You got the money. You pay for the cedula, pay for the green card. Their motto is money talks. That's the future, Graham. Only the rich will be able to live unless we do something about them. Yeah, Captain Coconut, I agree. Absolutely agree. I'm not playing this, but listening at the moment and finding it tough. Says Gillian Hope, following the death of my mum in March. It was horrific. I'm sorry, Gillian. And I know Diz as well lost her mum last weekend. It's really shit. It is really, really shit. Death is such a shit thing that humans have to fucking go through. And all I can say is we obsess about endings. We do this all the time. We say that marriages fail. We say that businesses fail. We say, but everything fails in the end. Everything. And what's important, I feel, is looking back over the good times, over the times when things weren't fucking horrible. And just imagine it like ending a chapter of a book. It's fine. Still there. You can reread it if you want. You can't really experience it, but you can look back over old photos, watch old videos, look back over old messages from one to the other. You can do that. There's no problem with that, It's always going to be there. No one's going to be able to take that from you. No one's going to be able to take that time from you. And it wasn't enough. It's never enough. But you have that. We all do. And that's a gift. However brief it is that we get to walk on this planet with somebody else who we care for, or we love, or even someone that we just know. That's a gift. that time is a gift. Because there's billions of people you're never going to meet. There's billions of people you're never going to fall in love with who have come and gone, trillions over the millennia. You got to be on this planet at the same time as that person. You got to be on the same, you got to be on this planet at the same time as David Bowie. I mean, fucking hell. That's pretty cool, isn't it? But yeah. So, yeah, the rich, once again, get away with it. And the argument that they used was, I think, badly written. They said the bill was badly written. This is Baroness Tanny Grey-Thompson and others argue that the issue is not the principle, but the legislation itself. They worried that vulnerable people, especially elderly, disabled, or dependent people, could be pressured into choosing death to avoid being a burden, which is something that there is provisos for in the bill. And they say that coercion is hard to prove. Family pressure is not always obvious. Emotional coercion can be subtle and impossible to detect. To a certain extent. But if it is then proven that there was coercion, the penalties should be so fucking massive and devastating and life-changing for the people who have done the coercion. It should put most people off. It should be given the same weight as murder. In that case, yeah. If you coerce someone into taking their own life and it's proven in the court of law, you go down for second-degree murder or something. We don't have second-degree murder in this country. We call it something else, don't we? Someone who knows more about law in the chat will tell me now. I got to be on this earth with my wonderful other half. That's enough for me, says Jimmy. Oh. On the flip side, we got to share the earth with Frog and Fart. Well, yes, Gallifreyan Man. Gallifreyan Man is the Eeyore of our group, isn't she? Oh, all right, yeah, that's a point. But I'm trying to keep a little bit of levity. Is it just manslaughter? There's no first degree, second degree. Okay. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to watch Bowie live at Glastonbury. So was I, Ryan. Me and Johnny Reynolds, who's now he's chief whip now, isn't he? Yeah, we watched Bowie together at Glastonbury. Awesome. Richie's birthday tomorrow. Be sure to tune in for her birthday live stream. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Yay. Saturday live stream. So yeah, the arguments about coercion, yeah, just make it absolutely like if you get found out, it's just not worth it. It's just not fucking worth it. And then you got medical uncertainty. Prognosis is not perfect. Doctors can be wrong about how long someone's got left. Yeah, I know, but it should be up to the person. Because whether they've got 6 months left or whether they've got a year left, if they are going to be in pain for every single day, every single moment of those 6 months of every moment of that year, what does it matter at that point? Like I say, my dad's been on palliative care since September 2020. Thank heavens he is on palliative care, because if he wasn't, then we would be paying for the carers coming 4 times a day. We'd have to sell the house. I mean, we'll probably be bankrupt by now. It's been so long. Eeyore, no, I'm just demented enough to see the funny side of having to share the planet with them. I shall amend my Eeyore-ness by saying I plan on doing either pork or rice, maybe with gravy tonight, or pizza. We're doing pizza tonight, homemade pizza. On Fridays, we have pizza night, and we used to sit down and watch a movie, but the girls are like all being all tweens and teenagery now, so they sort of go off to their rooms and sit on their tablets all the time. It's like a constant. But then I kind of think of it like this, like when I was a kid, when I was sort of their age, when I was a teenager, I spent most of my time in my bedroom playing fucking Oh No More Lemmings. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was out with my mates. I spent very little time like watching TV with my mum and dad, because like they watch shit. I didn't want to watch. They watched like Last of the Summer Wine and like Songs of Praise. Oh, they didn't watch Songs of Praise, but they watched stuff, and I was like, I'm not interested in this. My work here is done. Maniacal laugh. So it's kind of fame, man. I'm making burritos tonight. Oh yeah, burritos are fucking awesome. You're making me hungry. Yeah. The other thing is disability rights concerns. And I completely get these. I completely get why some campaigners fear as legalizing assisted dying creates a culture in which disabled lives are seen as less worth protecting. And I think that is a separate issue to this. I think that we do need to be more proactive in our support for disabled people. And society needs to be like that. Because there's too many people who just dismiss anyone who's got a disability. So, for instance, cinema owners who think that the only time to put the subtitle screening of a film on is at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, because deaf people don't have full-time jobs. I mean, could they? Could a deaf person do a job? They had to read and reply to emails. Yeah. Funnily enough, they totally can. But for now, garlicky fried mushrooms and eggs on toast for me. Hi, Witchy. As us, Gallifrey and Wren. And if Witchy's out there, thank you very much. Oh, there's your chicken salad for me. Richie Goth, happy birthday for tomorrow. All the best. All the merry returns to the Witchy Goth. But the position is. They say it's misrepresented. And when I talked to my MP, who actually didn't support this bill going through, by the way, in the House of Commons, about this, she made the argument that she wasn't against the principle. It was just this specific bill didn't have enough safeguards in it. And I'm sorry, did it need 1,200 safeguards putting in? 1,200? That's insane. That is demonstrably crazy. Like, evidently, like, that is not there to stop, to make the bill better. It's there to kill the bill. And compassion can point both ways. One person sees compassion as helping someone to avoid needless suffering. Another sees compassion as protecting vulnerable people from irreversible pressure. And there are no perfect answers to this. It's not a simple good versus evil issue. It's one of the hardest moral questions any society can face. But doing nothing is also a choice. Leaving people who know that they're going to die, who are in constant fucking pain, and know that they don't have long left. Why extend it for another couple of weeks? What is the fucking point? Why not allow people to choose the manner of their passing so they can do it at a time when they are surrounded by their loved ones, they can say goodbye, and then they can go to sleep and not wake up? And I think that this ties in a lot with our relationship with death in Western culture, because it's a bit of an odd one. The way that we deal with grief, the way we have this sort of stiff upper lip attitude, the way funerals, oh my God, I can't stand religious funerals, because you go there and instead of talking about your great uncle Tommy who's passed away, they bang on about Jesus and God and the angels. It's like an advert. It's like an advert coming on in the middle of a fucking service. Instead of talking about what Jesus did in a fucking the wedding of Cana in Galilee, how about you talk about great Uncle Tommy's fucking life? You know, talk about the things he did, his friends. Have a succession of his friends come up and tell funny fucking anecdotes about him. You know, why can't you make that the ceremony? Why isn't it down the pub? You know, you go to a fucking horrible building. Not a horrible building. You go to an old building that's really fucking depressing, right? And I know it's spiritual and all that kind of stuff. And I suppose some people like it. But I mean, have you been to a crematorium? Jesus Christ, they're depressing places. A room with a fucking curtain and you go, oh, just... No, I think the whole way we say goodbye to people is just fucking weird. I mean, it's weirder in other places. I mean, having wakes is fucking weird, where they have a party with a dead body in the house. Okay. That's going a bit far. But, and every society has their own way of dealing with death. But I would much rather see more of an angle of a celebration of life rather than it being all, oh God, you know, well, they're gone to somewhere better. No, they haven't. They haven't gone anywhere. They're fucking dead. They're dead. I'm sorry. I hate to burst your fucking balloon, but you're an adult now. You know, they're dead. There's nothing after it. You fucking rot. Sorry. So celebrate their life. That's what it should be. It Should be an absolute massive fucking celebration. And you know what'd be really good as well? If you had this assisted dying bill, you could have your funeral before you died. You could attend your own funeral. That'd be great. Or your mates turn up saying, what a twat you are. No, what an awesome person you are. God, I fucking love this guy. That'd be great. I'm up for that. And then when you do go, it's, put in the recycling bin. But again, it's like donors, organ donors. They finally changed the law a couple of years ago to make it so you had to opt out of giving your organs away if you die. And I was absolutely 100% for that. That should be the norm. You die, you don't need your organs anymore. Not going to be any use to you. So, pull them all out and put them into people that need them. Cool. Yeah. Especially for younger people who die. Because, once you're fucking like 80, 87 years old, I mean, is your heart going to be any good to put into somebody else? Do you know what I mean? It's already had enough time ticking away. So, yeah. And yeah, doing nothing is when it comes to this, doing nothing is a choice. And refusing to reform what we have is not neutrality. It means continuing the current system with all of its suffering and inequalities. And we talk a lot about the waspy women who felt betrayed because they weren't told that they couldn't retire until the age of 65 or 67 or whatever it turned out to be. They weren't given enough notification of that. And you think that's a bit shit because you're caught in that trap, aren't you? You're caught in that little, because of the year that you were born, you're stuck in that. Well, that's the same with this, isn't it? In the future, I'm sure there will be a right to die law, but just not right now. So anyone who's suffering now in the 20s, they're fucked. But maybe in the 30s, if people are suffering, maybe in the 40s, you'll be all right. Because there'll be a law in place. It's a bit unfair, isn't it, on the people who are there now? What's the difference between them and the waspy women? It's just bad timing, isn't it? And palliative care matters enormously, but it can't solve everything. Pain can sometimes be managed, but the loss of self, the indignity, the terror of that end of life, especially if you go in the way of dementia, that can't be managed. There's no way, managed decline. What the fuck? And I don't want that ending. Watching someone close to you, someone that you love, dying of dementia very, very, very slowly changes your perspective permanently. I mean, I wouldn't say changes because I always sort of felt like assisted dying should be something that you had a choice on in this country, and we don't have the choice. But I do not want to be trapped. I do not want to spend my final years on this planet in a silent fucking prison, in which I cannot communicate my pain, my fear, my wishes. And choice matters. I'm not arguing anyone should choose assisted dying. I'm arguing they should be allowed to choose assisted dying. And for those people who coerce someone in their family towards this, there needs to be a strong legal system in place that a legal response, I should say, a legal response in place that will that doesn't end their life, because we don't have the death penalty, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to spend a good chunk of their living days on this planet in a fucking jail cell for doing that to another human, especially if the other person is disabled. Miss Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. A lot of politicians will never admit being against the principle. They will say they support the principle while have no intention of ever voting for the thing. Yeah, I agree. But if we're going to talk about freedom, we constantly talk about freedom, autonomy, bodily rights, and somehow that all disappears the moment. I want to say death enters the conversation, but it's not. The dignified death of the people who didn't go to private school, effectively, the staties, the rest of us, the normal people, the normies, the hoi polloi, the proles, the plebs. That's us. They don't want to take the right away for rich people to go to Switzerland. That's not up for debate. No one's brought in a thing into Parliament saying, hey, listen, what about people being coerced into flying to Switzerland to take their own lives? No one's making that argument. No one's even fucking mentioning it. Go on then. Fucking stop people going to Switzerland. Stop people from this country. Ban rich people from taking their own lives in the Dignitas clinic in Switzerland. Go on. Oh, you're not going to? Funny that. It's almost as if you want one rule, one freedom for the rich, and another for everyone else. I can't stress this enough. The rich do this all the fucking time. It's not enough for them to win. Everyone else must lose. They hate equality because when you are used to privilege, equality feels like oppression. And forced endurance of pain is not moral. Forcing another human being to be in pain when they don't want to be is not a moral stance to take. In the TV show of Game of Thrones, to get her revenge on the Hound, Arya leaves him to die. He says, kill me, put me out my pain. And to get him back for the things that he'd done to her family, she leaves him to die in pain. Now, we can talk about what happens next in the story, whatever, but that's what happens in the TV show. It doesn't happen in the books. It's a chicken fight that leaves him dying. But yeah, spoilers, sorry. She leaves him to die. And that's his punishment. As punishment. What's the difference? What's the difference if someone's been in a sword fight or someone's and is bleeding and saying, please just put me out of my misery? What is the fucking difference between that and cancer or dementia? Someone is in pain, someone is in torture levels of discomfort. And you go, hey, have a couple of aspirin, you'll be fine. Fuck off. Honestly, fuck off. What Arya did in Game of Thrones, she was getting her revenge. But was it moral? Fuck no. It was not moral at all. The moral thing to do would have been to put him out of his misery. Something that he was actively begging her to do. And now our 7 politicians, 7 unelected politicians have made our decision for us there. Keeping someone alive at all costs is not compassion. Sometimes it's just fear dressed up as virtue. And yeah, if someone explained to me why, the leaving someone who is suffering to suffer isn't an evil thing to do, I'm all ears. If they're going to die anyway. Obviously, if we're talking about Game of Thrones, obviously that's not the way the plot went, but that's all. Further spoilers for a TV show that's like 15 years old now. And then you've got the fact that unelected peers blocked a elected decision. This is politically explosive. I mean, the House of Lords got a legitimacy problem at the best of fucking times. And however noble the intentions, it's difficult to justify the hereditary titles that they've now got rid of, haven't they? The hereditary peers, they're going to be retiring now at the end of this Parliament. We've got the appointments, life peers overriding the Commons on something this fundamental, And if the Lords can kill this, what else? Raises broader questions about the democratic legitimacy in Britain. And people feel powerless, especially terminally ill people who thought they were finally being heard. And here's the fucking mad cruelty of it all. The people who were like, oh, thank God, I'll be able to choose the manner of my own passing. When this bill went through the House of Commons, when it was voted on, and a majority of over 50 MPs voted for this. And that's been taken away. There's a cruelty in itself. I honestly think that these people, these motherfuckers in the House of Lords who have done this, no matter where you stand on this debate on whether it should be legal or not, come with me on this, because I think that doing this is a massive cruelty to raise the hopes of people who are in that stage of their life. What, do you dangle a carrot in front of a dying person and then take it away? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you put people through that? I think it's sick. I genuinely think it's fucking sick what these motherfuckers have done. For Dizz's Confetti Fix. Oh, thank you very much, Viper Scott. That's very kind of you. I've experienced physical and mental pain. I want the dignity of choice. But K8 Nimbus, you have the choice. You just need more money. Rich people have the choice. When it comes to pretty much everything in life, they have the choice. And all they want to do is take that same choice away from everybody else. It's not enough for them to just not do it themselves. They have to stop everyone else from doing it. And they tell themselves that they're moral. This is their moral stance. It's not fucking moral. It's disgusting. I'll tell you what's not disgusting, though. Viper Scott has just dropped another £2 in the Super Chat fund, which means, for the second time today, bit of levity! Bit of levity to the situation. Martin Harrow there, £2 for Dizz's mum's memory and Witchy's birthday. Oh, that's really kind of you, Martin. Witchy, I've got the £1.50s in the post to you. You can get yourself a little cupcake. Put a little candle in it. That's what we got for Kat's birthday. Got little cupcakes. Fucking awesome. That's what you want. The House of Lords feels quite medieval. Abolish, says Maggie Pie. 20 Swedish krona. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Call her Kate rather than K8. Oh, K8. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that. See, look, I think I'm down with the kids, but I can't even speak fucking tech speak. Kate. Cheers, Kate. Time to go. Laters all. A tough one today for people. Lots of love and big hugs to all. Oh, Lost Missionary, thank you very much for watching and have a great day, whatever you get up to. So, what happens next? Okay, so a little bit of hopefully light on the horizon. There's a new parliamentary session that begins on the 13th of May. Another attempt could be made. The bill could be reintroduced. If the MP wins the private member's bill ballot again, which is not certain, but it might happen, the same proposal may come back. And the Parliament Act exists, which is if an identical bill passes the Commons again, the Lords can ultimately be bypassed. This is rare, but possible. It was famously used last for the fox hunting ban. That obviously the brain toffs in the House of Lords didn't want us to ban the torture, the ripping apart of wild animals, beautiful wild animals for sport. They didn't want that to stop. But political will is everything. The question now is whether the Labour leadership wants this fight badly enough, and I don't know if they do. And this debate terrifies people. I mean, when I started thinking about what I was going to talk about today, I was looking through the news. I didn't want to talk about Trump. I didn't want to talk about bloody Peter Mandelson again. And obviously, this bill has run out today. But people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about death. People don't want to talk about making wills or giving a power of attorney to someone. You know, they don't want to think about it. This debate terrifies people because it forces honesty. It makes us confront aging, suffering, dependency, disease, death, all things that we as humans try our best to avoid in everyday conversation, you know, to keep things bubbling along, because I don't want to just spiral into a pit of fucking depression. But modern politics avoids it as well. But pretending it doesn't exist is helping no one. And families are living this reality every single day. It's not about wanting death. It's not about, you know, murder, suicide pacts or anything like that. It's just about dignity. Dignity in dying. The one journey that we're all going to have to go on at some point in our life. Can we have a little bit of choice in it? Most of us won't have the choice. Most of us will not be able to choose the time and the manner of our passing. But if I got to make the choice and I was going to go anyway, at some point, I would want to die in bed surrounded by my loved ones. I'd like to go to sleep, thank you. Cheers. Ta. No one should be forced into prolonged days, weeks, months, years of agony for someone else's moral comfort. And, you know, if you will not choose that ending for yourself, if you had the choice, why are you comfortable choosing it for someone else? Yeah, I'll take the torture one. Yeah, can I have a couple of years of torture before I die? Yeah, cool. Every day, because just torture me every day. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Anyway, Viper Scott's off. By Witchy Goth. By Lost, people are getting off because it's 10:30. Graham's still blathering on. Penny has dropped. Kate. 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 Oh, I get it. It's yeah. Surrounded by my great grandchildren, says John. Yeah. Yeah. Just because death is a part of life. It is. And the way we treat it, the way we behave around it is fucking bonkers. It's honestly bonkers, objectively bonkers. Why do we give more dignity to someone's pet weasel than we do to someone's grandmother, grandfather, or to ourselves? Crazy. Viper Scott, Martin's still here for a few minutes. Viper Scott, how you doing, mate? So yeah, and thanks for the super chats, everyone who's dropped a super chat in. And oh my God, I've just gone onto my Politics Social WhatsApp and there's 57 unread messages. What the fuck, guys? Everyone's having a big chat. What are they talking about? Central London Flats, Green Party. Yeah. Labour are doing a thing at the moment where they're doing a campaign to say that don't vote for Refuck because they're racist. It's fucking idiots. It's just going to make the racists vote for them. I'll tell you what you want to do. Say, no, it's for the posh rich people who earn over £1 million a year. Do you earn over £1 million a year? Well, don't fucking vote for them then. That's the pressure point. And you can prove that. It's very easy to prove that by what they want to do. Chat, you all stay safe and have a good day wherever you are. Wave, 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 wave. Hugs to all that need them. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Hugs, 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 hugs. Hugs, hugs from Alistair. Thank you very much, Alistair. That's very kind of you. Okay, so we're going to go over to the papers now. We have got the Mirror, which is all out of focus, and the BBC have axed Saturday football show Football Focus. Okay, never watched it. Dream job, Sarah Cox delight as she replaces sacked star Mills, and that is a bit of a unfortunately placed microphone. Yeah, that pink microphone that she's holding. It's a bit of an... I'm just saying. Anyway, then there's this horrible, horrible story in the Mirror about this predator who targeted teens and young men for 7 years, knowing he was HIV positive. And his youngest victim was 15 years old. Just doesn't bear thinking about. He's been given a minimum term of 23 years for 5 counts of rape and 7 of GBH. I'm sorry, trigger warning. I should have said before we went over to the papers. Fucking so grim. And he's the type of person that I would have no qualms whatsoever about throwing away the key. Wouldn't bring back the death penalty. Because, you can't take that back if it turns out to be wrong at some point, okay? But I would fucking throw away the key. He should never get out. And solitary confinement as well. The Times here, swearing at civil servants simply isn't me, insists McSweeney. Morgan McSweeney has said that he never fucking swore at any fucking civil fucking servants about the fucking Mandelson appointment because he's not a fucking fucker like that. And he ended it with the words, fuck you motherfuckers. It's exactly what he said. Call to stop sharing data with China after breach. entirety of UK biobank offered for sale online. Ministers faced calls to stop the sharing of British citizens' personal information with China after a huge breach involving the medical data of 500,000 people. Fuck me. This is the start of it, isn't it? Don't let refuck play the victim for being bullied. Yeah. No, but this is honestly, thank you very much for the super chat, Maggie. Can I just say, right, I mean, I have a huge problem with Labour's, well, with Labour at the moment in general, but Labour's comms, right? This, like, they're so fucking stupid. Don't go after the fact they're racist, because all they need to do is say, no, we've got some black candidates. How can we possibly be racist? But also, there are people out there who don't see themselves as racists. But then they get called racists, because they are, and that gets their back up. They are more offended by them being called racists than by racism existing, okay? You know people like that. Don't tell me you don't. Everyone knows people like that, right? This campaign that Labour are pushing, saying, oh, the racist, what the fuck? All that's going to happen with that is that these mealy-mouthed motherfuckers of refuck, who vote refuck, are going to look at that and say, well, I've been accused of being a racist when I've got a friend who's black, so I feel your pain. Like, it's the stupidest thing that Labour could possibly do. I don't know if it's self-sabotage or what the fuck it is, or Labour's got some humiliation kink. I don't know, and I'm not one to kink shame. I'm just saying, like, Labour, what every day you wake up and go, what the fuck? Like, it's like Trump does something fucking mad. I don't sit here going, what the fuck? Because he's fucking crazy. I don't expect anything more of him. He's fucking off his rocker. He's a disgusting, malignant, narcissistic, fucking gobshite, rapist, murdering piece of shit. But yeah, he's broken all 10 of the 10 commandments. It's quite impressive. Quite impressive to break all 10 of the 10 commandments in his tenure in office, and still people in America think that he's been sent by God. But with Labour, it's like, what the fuck? I thought you were sane. Why are you doing these things that are demonstrably fucking sane? Who is advising you? Why are you doing this? Can you not? Have you spoken to someone? Have you spoken to a human ever and asked them about stuff? Maybe you should start there. Maybe talk to a human. Maybe they're asking AI. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, there's a picture of a kid, because it's very, very important that you see a picture of a kid, so you know what the kids of the Queen's great grandchild looks like. I don't give a fuck. Daily Mail here. Who is anyone to decide how much anguish any human should endure? Jam Yawn, the heartbroken mother taking her own life today. Well, yeah, but they have the money to go to Dignitas in that particular respect. So that the choice to do that has been that doesn't exist for the vast majority of us who aren't fucking rich. Farage outweighs war on benefits culture. What a twat. Benefits culture. There is no benefits culture. Do you know there's a culture of gobshites like Farage who absolutely take the piss when it comes to the amount of tax they pay, the amount of money they get off the government. Don't forget, Andrew Husband, the gobshite who runs the Durham County Council, his last business went tits up, owing 1.5 million fucking pounds to the taxman and to creditors. A lot of that money, a lot of the money he got for his company came from what? Fucking COVID support, bounce back loans, which are never going to be paid off now. Money from the government, money from you and me. 1.5 million. Not all of it came from the government, but a big chunk of it did. What a fucking gobshite. What an absolute gobshite. Gallifreyan Rain, Labour either do too little, too late, or entirely wrong, and usually a mix of the three. Yeah. Do you get the feeling like Labour's kind of like unknowable? Like, it doesn't feel like... And that's what I hoped would be different about Labour, because I have friends who are Labour MPs, and I know my MP quite well here in Durham. And they're relatable. They're just normal people. They're just, but I think because Starmer probably is so inscrutable. Is that the word? Am I making a word up here? Is inscrutable a word? I mean, you can't scrutinize him. You can't suss out what he's thinking or what he's feeling. He comes across as this kind of like automaton. Data from Star Trek. I know why you cry, but it is something I can never do. Sorry, that was Arnie in Terminator 2. But they're both robots. All robots look the same to me. Is that racist towards robots? I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, just inscrutable. I'm voting Green Party. Sorry, Graham. Don't apologise. I think you should vote for Green in the upcoming election. Friends, vote the fucking Greens. Unless you have a Labour councillor or an MSP or a member of the Welsh Senate who's actually pretty good, right? Vote for them individually. But for a party, Labour need to have a kicking because they need to change the direction. And hopefully not toward Nigel fucking Farage. More people vote for the Greens, the more they'll change direction towards the Greens. So yeah, don't apologise. You have nothing to apologise for, my friend. Maggie Pie, 50 Swedish krona. Nigel Farage is brilliant at manipulating people into feeling sorry for him. Remember when he had his Coots account closed and cried on GBBs? Yeah, I actually think about that a lot. If anyone comes to my house canvassing for refuck, which they won't because they're not having elections in this part of the world. But I'll be like, oh, good. So you're going to make sure that the millionaires get money, right? Yeah. So the millionaires can have posh bank accounts. Okay. Because that's really important to you. You're never going to have a Coots bank account, right? Never, ever in your life. You'll never have a Coots bank account. Even if you win the fucking lottery, they're not going to let you have a Coots bank account because that's just a one-off fucking windfall. You need to show that you've got X amount of money coming in each month. As Nigel Farage found out when they were like, we don't want him. We don't want this gobshite because his income is too irregular because it was all based on the money given to him by his sugar daddies. Like Aaron Banks and Richard Tice and Andy Wigmore. Gobshites, one and all. Posh, privileged, rich, privately educated gobshites. Book of the month. From Questionable Insanity, who's been a member for 32 months. That's crazy. 3 years with us. Thank you, Questionable Insanity. Book of the month, Goliath's Curse by Luke Kemp. Cool. To look that out. C3PO and R2D2 don't look the same as the Terminator. Yes, they do. R2D2, Dusty Bin, Terminator, all look the same. Anyway, right. Sorry. And then Daily Express there is one last chance. Your true stories had the power to inspire MPs to change the terrible criminal law that is causing so much unnecessary suffering. Dame Esther calls on readers to make their voices heard on assisted dying. Yeah. And here's the law as it stands at the moment. If you assist someone in them dying, even if they've got a terminal illness, they're going to die anyway. If you help in any way, you can go to jail for a very fucking long time for doing that. How about we make it a law that if you have the choice, and you cause someone to have unnecessary pain and suffering against their will, against that person's will. I'm not talking about people who are like, no, I'm happy to live as long as humanly possible. I don't mind being tortured every day for the last year of my life, whatever it is, right? That'll be 6 months in this case. Okay, right. Surely there should be some kind of repercussions to them for like torturing people, because doing nothing is a choice, as I've said. Like, so yeah. I'm on Esther Anson's side on this. Foreign Office shuts unit tracking potential law breaches by Israel. So this is about the Foreign Office closing the potential breaches of international law. They're not tracking them anymore because of lack of funding. Yeah, so that's happening. We've got Iron Maiden. Bruce Dickinson is a twat, by the way, so don't listen to them. He's not the original singer anyway. Listen to the old stuff before he came along. What's missing? Everything But the Girls' 20 greatest songs. Okay. Is that the guy from the House Martins? No, not Fatboy Slim. The other one. Am I right? Isn't that Fatboy Slim's mate? Fatboy Slim. Lovely man. DJ. Also, I went to private school, which is nice. Love to be a superstar DJ. Then you've got Banksy, famous graffiti artist whose identity was uncovered last month. It wasn't. It was uncovered about 20 fucking years ago. We've known who he's been for a very, very, very long time. He went to private school. And that's why he's not in jail. UK biobank health data for sale on Chinese site. Unfucking-leavable. And then we've got Lebanon funeral held for journalists killed in Israeli strike. Young female journalists attacked, murdered by the Israeli regime for the crime of living in Lebanon, I assume. Civil servant was denied Mandelson vetting file. The Foreign Office refused to hand over a summary of Peter Mandelson's security vetting to Cat Little, the civil servant tasked with compiling documents detailing his appointment as ambassador to the US. I mean, I suppose this scandal is going to rumble on a little bit, but whatever. Trump shoot and kill. Coxie, I've got my dream job on Radio 2. And you know, I said that picture before was a bit unfortunate with the pink microphone. I think this one's even more unfortunate. Just saying. I mean, you know, I am a child. Anyway, we've got the iPaper here. Starmer isolated but safe for now. Yeah, which is what I said last week before all the hype, all the fucking drama. The drama. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then we've got Caroline Hearns saying, menopause done, marriage over, now I feel 17 again. Okay. And then, I don't love everyone talking about my body, says Megan Trainor, who's a singer from America, with some, I don't know, jewels. What was she doing? An impression of Smaug there? Is she sitting in front of jewels? Is that what's happening? Sarah Cox there, thankfully without a pink microphone this time. Getting the dream job at Radio 2, which is listened to by old people. Do you listen to Radio 2? Do you like Radio 2? You're old. Sorry. It's true though, isn't it? Shoot and kill Trump's new orders to US Navy in Gulf as Iran peace talks stall. Like, Iran's got the upper hand here. Iran has won this war. It's absolutely won it. America's flailing around, going, "Oh, can we have peace now?" And Iran's like, "Maybe." Come on, should we have a peace conference? Should we go to Islamabad and talk about having a ceasefire? Okay. Oh no, actually, only joking. We're not going to be there because we got the upper hand. Enjoy. Trump is absolutely flailing wildly at the moment, and it's nice to see him doing badly because I fucking hate him. But at the same time, it's kind of like depressing that, you know, he's still the president of the United States of America. Check on Google what's the average wage for UK King's Council. £500 to £1,500 per hour. Wow. So that's 1,500 is more than I earn in a month. So they earn more in an hour than I earn in a month. Wow. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking profession, mate. Talking of robots, I went to my mate's Tesla yesterday. Horrifying having all the controls on the stupid screen. Oh, don't get me started on those fucking screens. Do my absolute head in. Doing nothing is a choice. That's what I say to people who don't do politics. They invariably vote Tory or their parents or partner. Andrew, yeah, this is why, and we've had this discussion before, this is why I don't agree with compulsory voting. Lived in Australia for a bit, and they have compulsory voting over there. It doesn't stop people from voting the Tories. People go, oh look, here's a little pie chart that I've put. I've put it together. So it's like 33% of people voted for the twats. 32% of people voted for the people who not as big twats. And 34% of people voted for no one because they didn't bother to vote. And you're like, okay, yeah, but a majority of them might have voted for the twats because they don't engage in politics. But that's their choice. But there's no, you know, you can try and get people on an individual level to take more note of politics. That's fine. But on a national level, to make it compulsory, you won't get the result you want. You won't get the result you want. I'm going to tell you that now. Norman Cook puts on amazing gigs, though. Yeah, he absolutely does. At university, I did on one occasion pay a check drawn against a Coots account into my NatWest account. Wow. Wow. I've never heard of Coots before Trump. Trump, what's Britain Trump, before the Faragists leader. I'll accept compulsory voting when someone can point me to a viable party that won't genocide me. Well, the Greens are doing all right when it comes to transgender rights. I'll tell you who's not doing all right. Fucking Stonewall. What the fuck? I don't know if you've heard about this, but if you haven't, the new head of Stonewall is a huge fan of J.K. Rowling. And I listened to an interview with her yesterday, and I was screaming at my phone, which was a bit, because people started looking at me. I was outside at the time, but I was like, "Fuck you." She was talking about she was talking about how people who have been incredibly transphobic have been had horrible things said to them online, and I'm like, yeah, good. They should have horrible things said to them online because they're fucking horrible people. Fuck them. But she talks about maybe I should bring the interview up. She talks about J.K. Rowling, about being a remarkable woman and how she's, she stands her ground and all this. She's the head of fucking Stonewall, which is supposed to protect trans women along with trans men, along with non-binary people, along with everyone who's gay, everyone who's a lesbian, everyone who's bisexual. But no, we'll just throw trans people to the wolves. Unfucking-leavable. What's Stonewall interview transcript rolling. Unfucking-leavable. It's the podcast here. It was a podcast on the Guardian site. Her name is Kezia Dugdale. That's almost Dinsdale, isn't it? Dinsdale. What's this? Medium. She's of course, we're going to have to be there for trans people. That's integral to who we are and what we do. But our priorities now are ... Yeah. But unfucking-leavable. And she equated being a transphobe, choosing to be a transphobe, with, I assume, choosing to be trans. And the interviewer didn't pick her up on this. The interviewer didn't say, no one chooses to be trans. Why would you choose that? People are trans. That's it. That's who they are. It's not a choice any more than being left-handed, being dyslexic, being ADHD. Not a fucking choice. Dinsdale, says Jimmy, who totally got that reference. Spiny Norman the Hedgehog there. If you haven't got a clue what we're talking about, and I'm sorry, we're in our clique from 57 years ago. Never been a fan of compulsory voting. That Stonewall put a turf in charge tells me they're thoroughly compromised. Yeah, Gallifreyan then. Honestly, that interview, the snippet I heard from it, where she equated the suffering that J.K. Rowling's gone through because she's a TERF with the suffering that trans people are going through, which their organisation is there to try and help with. Not help them suffer, not help people. Yeah. Stonewall is not a membership organisation. It's run by a few celebs and Tories. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Kezia Dugdale. Add her to the list of fucking gobshites out there. Kezia Dugdale. Let's have a look. Who is she? She's a former member of the Scottish Parliament. Oh, she was a late Labour Party politician. Well, there you go. She was head girl at her school. She didn't go to private school, but she was head girl at her school. She looks like a head girl. And she was a public affairs officer at the National Union of Students, Scotland. And then she became the leader of the Scottish Labour Party. Yeah. And then, yeah, she's, what? No. She was supposed to be on I'm a Celebrity, but then the Labour Party had to go with her and said no. Because she had a job. She wasn't supposed to be going to the jungle for shit and giggles to eat some bugs. And yeah. Blah blah blah. Okay. I'm just reading her Wikipedia page. But yeah, why she's been put in charge of an organisation that is supposed to represent and respect and fight for the rights of trans people. And she's sitting there going, well, you know, J.K. Rowling's got a point, hasn't she? I don't think trans people should be allowed to go to the bathroom. What a fucking arsehole. What a fucking absolute fucking juddering, copper bottom, gold-plated, dead set cunt. Head girl, you say, Graham? Yeah. Oh, head girl. I see what you've done there. Yeah. What do we got here? We've got some kids. There's a picture of the same kid that was on the front cover of the other paper. I'm going to say this again. I'll never tire of saying this. This is fucking weird. This is something weird British people do. It's a weird thing that British people do. They take a picture of a child and then they print it out hundreds of thousands of times, and then they distribute that picture of a child to every single corner shop, every newsagents, every outlet of WH Smith and TJ Hooker or whatever the fuck the other shop's called now, every single petrol station, every single train station, every single station to station. Like, there's got to be a picture of this kid. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look, I've taken a picture of this kid. Look at this kid. It's very important that you look at this kid. Okay. This is fucking weird. It's fucking weird. I won't have anyone tell me that's not. It's fucking weird. It is fucking weird. Anyway, Dazzle Like a Dame. Style tips from Joan Collins. I didn't know Joan Collins was still alive. Is it Jackie Collins who died? I don't know. Herma's excessive fee for Iraq witch hunt. MOD challenged £450 an hour rate to investigate war crimes by British troops. US blocking Met Police investigation into Mandelson. Patient health data for sale on Chinese site. Final whistle blows for Football Focus. M&S self-checkouts fuel rise in shoplifting. Really? Really? I would have never thought of that. I'd never thought that people just taking their own stuff to the checkout would involve people taking more stuff than they're supposed to take from the check. What the hell? Really? Did that really happen? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide? No escape from reality. Anyway, what the fuck? Harry urges Trump to do more for Ukraine. The Duke of Sussex has called on America to step up and defend Ukraine. Yep, absolutely. US Navy ordered to shoot and kill Iranian boats on Strait of Hormuz. We've got this picture of one of the women from Pussy Riot coming on a boat. And then we've got getting on the ferry across the Mersey. And then we've got Patrick Smith there, a clunky format and weak guess is why Claudia's new chat show is struggling. Clunky format, weak guess, yeah. Do you know who does it really well, right? And I know he went to private school, but they all did, so don't worry about it. Not Graham Linehan, who went to private school, but he's not a good one. Graham Norton. His format of his talk show is the best. It is the best by a fucking mile because they get these, 3 or 4 celebrities from different walks of life, put them on the couch together and give them wine and get them drunk and have them sharing funny stories and the conversation flows and it's not stilted. Do you have something to say about this? Okay, I have something to say about this. And it's a format that I would love to be able to emulate on this channel if I had the money. Fucking hell, it'd be fucking awesome. Get the same sort of thing as Graham Norton, but just get your politics wonks like myself and friends. Just get us together, sit on the couch and have a bottle of wine and just say, just talk about shit. I like that. I like that concept. It's good. But yes, Claudia Winkleman, privately educated, of course, because you've got to be privately educated to be on TV, to have a travel show, to have a talk show, to present the news, to be on the news, unless you've killed someone. Just everyone went to private school. It's just one of those things. But there you go. There's someone who went to private school. If you go over the papers, that kid goes to private school. Sarah Cox didn't. Let's have a look who else. Esther Vance, did she go to private school? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if she's on my list. But yeah. Yeah, that kid went to private school. Just saying. Anyway, top official reveals how Indy triggered Mandelson panic. Cabinet Office Chief Cat Little confirms government scrambled to get details of Mandelson vettings just days after this paper, more than 7 months ago, reported disgraced peer had failed security checks. So they're just bigging themselves up there. An advert for The Independent on the front of The Independent. And then we got the Metro here, conquered by the cults. Careful how you say that. And then it's get it fucking right. I'm not even white. Heckler tells Potty Mouth Mahmood, who is our Home Secretary, who is not great, I've got to say. Don't like her. And she was heckled, and she turned to the heckler and told him that he was that he could fuck right off, and that he wasn't even white. She could tell. She called him. She told him to go fuck right off, and called him a white liberal. And he's like, I'm actually from Malaysia. What are you talking about? What the fuck? Anyway, what the fucking fuck is going on? Anyway, Financial Times, we're going to go to in a moment once I get rid of the advert that pops up. I'm going to get rid of that. Yeah! Go away. I've got to click on it twice to get it to go away now. The why is obvious. To do it is successive leaders did it to the EHRC. Yeah. Put a turf in charge, yeah. You may wonder what these creeps want written on their tombstones. Thank fuck they're dead. Monster. Maybe I wouldn't let them have a tombstone. Well, actually, though, because I want somewhere to go for a shit. To set up my Dance Revolution machine. Or me mats. You can get mats. You can get like Dance Revolution mats. They cost a few quid on eBay. And just do, set a couple of them up on Farager's grave. It'll be fucking awesome. Liam, when I was working last year in the steel place, they wanted me to stop at the train station and grab 4 or 5 copies of the Metro, so they had something to read at break times. Yeah. Well, I get that whenever I'm on the paper. I get the train. Whenever I'm on the train, I'm dropping someone off at the train station, I always get the Metro. So I can do the crossword. I really like the Metro cryptic crossword because it's just difficult enough. It uses words that I know. And one of my big complaints about cryptic crosswords is that if you do the Times cryptic crossword, like it's quite satisfying to do. The Evening Standard's pretty hard as well, and the Guardian, the Observer, and the Weekend Eye cryptic crossword. They often use like Latin fucking words. They use Latin words, and you're like, I don't fucking know. I don't know this word. Do you know what else has a good cryptic crossword? The Private Eye. That's a good cryptic crossword. It uses words that I use in everyday life. Then again, I suppose half the fun is working out what the word must be, and then looking it up on typing it in to the internet to see if it's an actual fucking word. And then you're like, oh, it is a word. I never knew that meant. Someone who fancies birds. What? A pigeon fancy. Okay. Special old word for that in Latin or something. How the Trump show recast American media. Is there board games, US kill order on mine laying. A still from a video broadcast on Iranian state TV claims to show the country's soldiers taking part in the seizure of container ships in the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday. Oh shit, sorry. So I was wrong. It wasn't Pussy Riot. I thought it was Pussy Riot getting onto the Mersey ferry. All right, sorry, it was the Iranian troops getting on board a ship. A cargo ship. US accuses China of industrial-scale theft from AI labs in tech arms race. Distillation campaigns in focus. Beijing condemns pure slander, and Trump to meet Xi in weeks. So, This is a hilarious story. The White House has accused China of industrial-scale theft of American artificial intelligence labs' intellectual property and warned it would crack down on a practice that exploits US innovation. Okay. Good luck with that. Again, while we're talking about AI, copy and paste exists. Control-C, Control-V. It exists. And yes, Paula, I know it's a bit more complicated than that, but essentially, it's a lot more hackable than seeing another country make a car and saying, I'm going to copy how they make a car. Do you know what I mean? The amount of money we're putting into AI and the fact that it can be copy-pasted. There was an AI, I think it was Anthropic, was it? Who made this AI that was too dangerous to let out into the real world, and then a group of hackers from a Discord server got into it. They just guessed what the fucking IP address was, and they got into it, and they used it to make some websites. Yeah. There aren't any Mersey ferries. Daffodil is undergoing sea trials. What? Well, there is the Royal. Is it the Royal Iris? It's not called the Royal Iris anymore because it can't have the royal title on it, so it's just called the Iris, which is parked up now next to the Albert Dock, which is nice to go and sit out there on a sunny day and have a beer on the deck. It's lovely. Copy what? Copy the coding, the information, the AI stuff they put together. Copy paster, copy pasta. Model distillation. Yes. So yeah, you've got something. So let's do the analogy that I did yesterday, where I said, imagine the 7 different film companies at 7 different studios, and they're all making the same film. They're all making exactly the same film with the same actors, the same characters, the same plot, the same story, and they're putting all of their money into these films, and they're all doing the same one. And they're gonna be like, we're gonna make loads of money out of this, but unfortunately, piracy exists. I just so another studio can just copy their film and just put it out and make money out of it. There's nothing they can do about it. All Trump can do is shake his tiny little orange fist. AI training data are stolen to begin with. That is very true, Maggie Pie. That is absolutely 100% on the knocker. Yeah, very true. All AI databases are stolen. Yeah, because it's based on data that they've stolen from other people. What have you secretly done on Maggie's grave? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. A Labour minister calling someone a liberal, does that confuse anyone else? Yeah. She's a fucking nutter. She's a fucking nutter. Really not happy with her being. I thought Yvette Cooper did a good job as Home Secretary. Don't know why she was moved. I thought David Lammy did a good job as Foreign Secretary. I don't know why he was moved. Yeah. It felt to me like they just panicked and they went, quick, we need change, and just like moved a few things around. Like they changed the pictures around so they were in a different order behind me there. The answer to the last cryptic, the last clue of the first cryptic crossword I completed was Pierre David's deer. I had never heard of them, but they turned out to be a rare breed of Chinese deer. Oh my God. Per David's deer. Never heard of them. Yeah. So hold back minute organism. So it's the first cryptic crossword. This is from Wednesday. And it's Babe Omani holds back minute organism. So holds back means it's backwards in the clue. It's a minute organism, and if you underline the first the first 2 letters of Omani going backwards, the first 3 letters, and the first 3 letters, the last 3 letters of Babe, it spells out amoeba. So I'll write that in. There you go. We're doing the crossword together. I don't care anymore. Let's just do it. Amoeba. Oh God, I put amoeba. What the hell? Oh well, this is easy to change a D into a B. Wasn't paying attention. And Necker NACA can provide them real proof. I'm beginning with an M, and it's 625. And before you scream it at the TV, because I know your phone or whatever, I'm going to write it in because it is mother of pearl. Because NACA is another word for it. Is it pronounced NACA? I'm assuming it is. It's just acre with an N at the beginning, but that's a word for meaning mother of pearl. You see what I mean? Nice and easy. You see, nice and easy. Just like AIDS dad. Typical example of one volume on lengthened. Typical example, beginning with exemplar is a on one volume on lengthened CD compact disc. A typical example. I think it's exemplar, isn't it? No, that doesn't fit. It's 7 letters. I don't know. And as a neck breaks sideways, 7 letters. As a neck breaks sideways. Anyway, I will look into that later. The Welsh yar actually means chicken. Seeing as most famous pirates of the golden age of piracy spoke Brythonic, they were taunting those who ran away. Yar, they were calling you a chicken. Har, hey, my hearties. Har, bottle of grog. I just love the NHS. The only great thing left in UK politics. My second cataract referral went in 2 days ago. They phoned me today with an appointment early June. Brilliant. Yeah. Honestly, the NHS. So talking to the NHS, for a long time, NHS hearing aids were fucking shit, and so you'd have to pay for decent private. You'd have to pay privately for hearing aids, and they cost a fucking fortune. We're talking like $2,000 or something for a pair. Okay, maybe up to like $3,000. But more recently, the NHS have started getting really, really good hearing aids that are just the fucking induction loop shite, which are fucking shite. They're shite. Honestly, if you ever listen to what people hear through the induction loop, it just sounds like a badly tuned radio. It's so bad. But it's from a technology that is decades old. But yeah, the new ones, Bluetooth. But one of the things that they can do with the hearing aids now, when you're deaf, you don't necessarily have a complete. Depends on the type of deafness that you have. As you get older and you start losing your hearing, it tends to be like the volume's been turned down on the TV. But if you've got the deafness that Catherine has, which she went deaf at the age of 4 from contracting measles, there are certain frequencies that she can hear better than other frequencies. And what these hearing aids that she's got from the NHS do now is they shift the frequencies down or up as necessary. It's called frequency shifting. I think that's what it's called, or phase shifting or something like that. But it shifts the frequency so she can hear a lot more now on her NHS hearing aids than she can on her private hearing aids, which is brilliant. Absolutely fucking fantastic, and long overdue. NHS created by a Welshman, Anura Bevan, who upscaled the work at the Scottish College of Nurses. The only progressive policies the UK knows is because of the Celts. Change my mind. Cymru, you are absolutely 100%. And 100% right. And there's someone with a Scottish first name, a middle name that's named after St. David, because that was the day after I was born. It was St. David's Day, March the 1st, and I was born on February the 28th. And so St. Daffyd, really. So my middle name technically should be Daffyd, but I spell it David. And Hughes is definitely a Welsh name. And as someone who bears the marks of a Celt, then I'm going to agree with you. Me fucking rock. My sister married a Welsh guy, and she had 4 kids, and they all speak Welsh. Half my family is Welsh, and I spent most of my childhood. Not most of it, because I did have to go to school from time to time, but a big chunk of my childhood was spent in Wales, especially North Wales, with me, my mum and dad and my brother, travelling and going camping out there and climbing up Snowdon and Bolvamai and going to Betsy Coed and Trevrw and Llangollen. Llangollen? I've just made somewhere up. Sounds a bit Welsh. Conway Castle, Portmeirion. Anglesey, going up to Anglesey. Ah, great days. Going up the Big Orme, going up the Little Orme. Yeah, a lot of love, lot of love for Wales and the Welsh. Comedy says longingly to get self-autonomous regions secede from England with us. Two of the greatest actors of all time, Richard Burton and Anthony Hopkins, are Welsh. Also, Michael Sheen. Fucking fantastic. Draws longingly to get self-autonomous regions secede from England with us. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd love for Liverpool to be a fucking city state. It'd be fucking awesome. The sound of should be on both of the in Llangollen. Yeah, you're right. Llangollen Railway. I'm sure I went on Llangollen Railway back in the day. Wasn't there a steam train on Llangollen Railway? Am I mixing it up with something else again? Sorry. A clan. Get your clans out. North Wales, the default holiday destination for Scousers. Yeah, it's on our doorstep. One of the things I love about being European is this, right? I have driven all over America. I have driven all over Australia. I have driven from Melbourne to Perth to Darwin to Alice Springs to Queensland to Brisbane to Sydney and Canberra. I've driven all over Australia, right? I've driven through LA. I've driven through to Nevada. I've driven in New York City, for Christ's sake. America is America in all directions. The Australia is Australia in all directions. New Zealand, lovely fucking place. Driven all over it, fucking love it. But there's nothing near it. You know, it takes you hours to get anywhere else other than New Zealand. It's very isolated. And Australia isn't isolated in the same way, kind of, but it's Australia in all directions. I can get in a car and drive for an hour and go to another country where they speak a different language. They eat different food. In Scotland, there's different flora and fauna in Scotland than there is in England. There just is, you know, just an ancient fucking part of one supercontinent hit another ancient part of another supercontinent and created the oldest border in the world, technically, which is between England and Wales. England and Scotland. Office Dyke's not that old. You're offering me a dike? What? Why would I want a dike? Hughes is an old Welsh name too. Also, where you get the last name Pugh from at Hugh, son of Hugh. Always welcome this side of the Severn. I believe that Hughes comes from the word fire, from the word for fire. So Graham, meaning home, meaning grey house or home. So it's like grey house on fire. That's my name. But I just translate it into the common parlance, into the common tongue. I've driven through the desert on a horse with no name. Fantastic. Well, you should have given your horse a name. He could have given you... If your horse had no name, you could have given the horse a name. It's a bit mean not to give the horse a name. How did the horse know you were referring to the horse? Did you just call him horse? That's a bit rude. But yeah. But yeah, I love the fact that I can drive for an hour and I'm in another country. When I'm in Liverpool, I can go to Wales. When I'm here in Durham, I can go to Scotland. When I'm down south, I can just go through the Channel Tunnel and end up in France. In a few moments later, I'll be in Belgium, get to the Netherlands, get to Luxembourg, Germany. If I drove for a day from here in Durham, right, I can, in one day, I could probably drive to about 17 different countries and get there within a day. Isn't that fucking mad? Isn't that insane? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that absolutely freaking amazing? I'd have to get up early in the morning, obviously, but Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein. I know because I've done that before. I've got to Liechtenstein in a day. I've driven to Liechtenstein from the UK and got there in Spain, Andorra, San Marino, Italy, Vatican City. I reckon I could get to Rome in a day. What fucking what's that place called? Monaco. I don't know if I get to Portugal. I think that'll be stretching it a bit. That's like 20 fucking countries I could get to in a day. Denmark. Oh my god, you get to Denmark in a day. And if you get to Denmark, you get to Sweden. There you go. 22 countries. You get the ferry from. I used to be able to get the ferry from Newcastle to Denmark, didn't you? I think did they still do the ferry to Norway? Do they? I can't remember. They used to. They used to do a ferry to Norway from Newcastle. It takes less than a day. Fucking great. Amazing. Farage say, but he can, but you can't go there. Yeah. My name means rock the house. Pete Danka. That's awesome. Rock the house. That's awesome. He goes, yeah, Pete means Peter comes from Petra, meaning rock. You are my rock. I will build my church upon you, Jesus said to St. Peter. One of my granddads was named Hugh. His family were from Anglesey and Port Maddock. There you go. Hugh, Barney McGrew. Cuthbert Dibble. Oh, that was Hugh Pugh, wasn't it? Oh, did they have the same name? Was it Pew? It was Pew, wasn't it? Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb. I'll have to ask Mike Dix on that one because he's the knowledgeable one on that as well. I'll wave my Irish passport at Farage and tell him to fuck off. Oh, gels. Totes gels. You gotta. But imagine that. Imagine being able to drive to 20 different countries or 22 different countries in a day. And these fucking Americans are like, yeah, I could drive to another state. And you're like, you mean the one with the McDonald's and the Starbucks and the Arby's and the Popeyes and the Burger Kings? You mean them? You mean the ones with the same Walgreens shops, the same strip malls, the same advertising hoardings, the same highways that look exactly the same, with the same bridges going over the motorways, the flyovers that you have over there, the freeway flyovers, the same. They're the same. You take a picture of a flyover in America and say, where is this? It would be the most difficult bloody GeoGuessr challenge of all time. Like, I have no idea. I don't know. The Pugh brothers were twins. Pugh, Barney McGrew. Cuthbert Devil Job. Yeah, it was Pugh, wasn't it? Not Hugh. I'll waive my Irish passport. I've said that one. Okay, so we're going to quickly go to the papers just for the Financial Times quick stories. Investor rebellion hands BP defeat in climate vote. 2 resolutions on reducing oil majors' climate reporting requirements have gained support of only 47% of the voting shareholders, far below the 75% threshold required for the proposals to pass. Fuck you, BP. Nice weather for a wager. Forecasting service Metro France have filed a police report after anomalies in temperature gauges in Paris coincided with well-timed bets on prediction market, Polymarket. Jesus Christ. It's not a prediction market. It's a fucking gambling site. Can we call it a gambling site? Because that is what it is. Medical database breach, which you mentioned. Foxton's sales fees plunged. The London estate agents' fees for house sales have slumped 35% in the first quarter in the fallout from the Iran war, dented the market and threatened to delay interest cut rates. Race to seal pensions deal. Consortium led by CVC and the Prudential Financial in pole position to take a £1 billion plus stake in Standard Life's pension risk transfer businesses as UK retirement plans draw in investors. EU seeks to law Iceland. Brussels is open to offering Iceland a carve-out and fishing policy to accelerate the potential bid to join the bloc. Fantastic news. Warner Brothers deal backed. This is shit news, right? This is really shit news. I'm sorry that the quality of this is so bad. It's just the website I'm on. Shareholders have approved the studio's $111 billion takeover by mates of Donald fucking Trump. I'm so pissed off about this. Trump's family's WLF sued the crypto tycoon. Justin Sun has sued World Liberty Financial in the latest escalation of a feud between the firm and its backer, alleging the illegal seizure of WLF tokens never once valued at $1 billion. A $1 billion heist, if you can believe that. I'm sure you can believe it because this is the world in which we now live. Now, my friends, I know I did a bumper show yesterday and went on till past 12 o'clock, but you know, we really got into it. So for the vast majority of you, I'm pretty sure that can be the end of the show. But if you fancy it, I am going to have a game of GeoGuessr. So if you want to join me for GeoGuessr, you are very, very welcome to do so. You can help me out if you like. If you've got some suggestions to add where you think I might be. You've got to be quick, though. You've got to be quick because there is a bit of there's like a 17-second delay in me saying this and you actually seeing the thing. But we've got 3 minutes. We've got 5 destinations. So if you want to go now, cheerio. See you later. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely Friday. Have a lovely weekend. We're not doing the agenda today because that's moved to Monday. We're not doing the Friday night social tonight. That's moved to Sunday. So I'll see you Sunday. Media consolidation. Anyone else watching Daredevil Born Again? Not yet, Questionable Sanity, but I've been told it's very good, so I might start watching that. Matt Murdock as the blind lawyer, street fighter person. For some reason. Because reasons. Your reason is treason. So I'm going to just let's have a go on here. I feel the need to sorry, I'm just trying to find GeoGuessr is there. And then we change property. Oh god, no, I pressed the wrong button. I hate it when I'm trying to do something. And then I pressed the wrong button. I'm just trying to make it so I'm not cutting off too much of the screen because obviously if I cut off any of it, you won't be able to see what's going on. And that's not good. So just bear with me for a moment. And if you've gone, see you. If you've gone, bye. Let's get that again. And then we'll put that there. And then we will make that go to there. Okay. Okie dokie then. Let's get on with this. Okay, sorry, I just had to do my screen up so it looks like this. There you go. Yay, it worked. Okay, should we get going? I'm not in quick today. My back's gone and my brain is spongy, but in a nice way. Oh, I'm sorry that your back's gone. Well, I'm glad you're I'm glad your brain's spongy in a nice way. When I got back from Ginger Island, honestly, it took me about 2 weeks to get compos mentis again. I might go back and watch some of my videos that I made because my brain was really, really foggy for about 2 weeks after I got back. It was weird. I did have a cold. Maybe that affected it. I don't know. Anyway, let's play GeoGuessr. We've got to guess where we are in the world. Before the time runs out. Okay? Because you don't want the time to run out. Because that would suck. That would totally suck. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay, right, let's go. Play now. It's funny that you say you press play now and it doesn't let you actually play. Okay, loading location. Here we go. Okay. Okay, we're somewhere tropical. We have got palm trees. We've got some mountains there. So we could be Central America. We could be South America. Could be Caribbean. Oh, we've got water. We've got Barangay, Republic of the Philippines. So that's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? So we're in the Philippines. That's good. So let's find out where we are. Where we are in the Philippines. It is in the Philippines. Stanley said that Daredevil was a lawyer just in case other superheroes needed legal representation. Barangay. Are you ready, Gladiator? Are you ready? And I can't find anywhere called Barangay. Fuck. Oh, okay. Barangay is not a place; it's a thing. It's a political unit. So I guess it's like a ward, like a political ward. Maybe I should have stayed. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and look at that. Um, I'm gonna go back to the start and look at that sign some more. See if it actually tells me where we are in the Philippines. Uh, I don't know if that's the name of the place. Oh, hang on. Oh, Palawan. Okay, Palawan. Um, I don't, because Palawan isn't that an Indonesian island? Palawan. Um, oh no, no, it's in the Philippines. Ha 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 ha! We have you. Right, we need to find Palawan, which is the long one, I think. I think it's this one. Yes. There it is. Ooh. Okay, so where are we in Palawan? Well, we've got the water to the left of us. So, is there another sign here? Oh, I'm running out of time. I'm just gonna have to go here. Okay, hope not too far away. Oh, I was 152 kilometers away, so that's not great. Where was I? I was here. Cool. Okay, well, at least that sign helped us out there. Unfortunately, I'm only good for random historical knowledge, whereas you lost me. I shall wish you well in your game and your good health. It tells you where you are on the notice board. Palawan. Cool. Okay, right, next one. I mean, we got the right country. Okay, let's have a look at this sign. Ooh, Wittweiss, Baden. That's Germany, isn't it? Baden, Germany. Wittweiss. Let's find this in Germany. Be funny if it's not even in Germany. Funny if it's in Austria or something. That would be hilarious. Bitwise, let's have a look. Can we get some more information? There's a band playing in the Northwest. Dennis Cruz, Art Slaves. Cool. Bitwise, does that mean bus stop? Does that mean bus stop? Die Post. Oh, that's a bit mean. No, it's German. It means the post. The. Let's have a look. What's this sign saying? Garden. I mean, Baden. Oh, this could be Austria, you know. Could be Austria. Baden. There's a lot of words saying Baden everywhere. I don't know if that's particularly helpful. Is it Austria? Is it Germany? Aha. Hang on. Oh, there's a destination sign there. Come on. Give me a Wien. Give me a Wien. Frinwil. Baden. Fryenwil. Poor old Frienwil. Free will. Well, thanks very much for everyone in the chat who helped me out on this one, but it's actually in Switzerland. Let's have a look. Let's have a look if we can find it on the map here. There's Switzerland there, up in the mountains. The mountains high. And we were sort of the north by Zurich. There it is, Baden. Cool. Let's go back to the bit where we started. We're on this road. There's a field and there is a bus stop. So there's a bus stop there, but there's no field. There's a field there with a bus stop. But there's no... We're not by a river, are we? No, I don't think we are. But it's definitely a road. Maybe we're on this one here. Let's go to Ruhrstrasse. Let's just do that one. Woohoo! 3 kilometers away. We were on Landstrasse. Not Rutzstrasse. We were on Landstrasse. Oh God, what was the land of the Badenoch? The Badenoch. That could be like a monster that comes in the night, couldn't it? Beware the Badenoch child. Okay, well, that was exciting. We got 3 kilometers away there. Swiss bollards. Bollards in Switzerland can be either cylindrical with a round top or have a rounded rectangular shape with a slanted top. Both are black and white with a rectangular reflection on the front. Okay. Okay. Now, this is important because it says in other countries, it says alto. So in South America, I think, because otherwise it would say alto in Central America. So where are we? Although, I don't know, maybe in Panama, it doesn't go that way. Don't mistreat me. Santo Domingo. Oh, so you? I am you. Santo Domingo. Okay, well, we'll just go straight to the capital of Dominican Republic, which is about here. Oh, Jesus. I'm good at this. Let's have a look around Santo Domingo then, if that's where we are. The UFHEC, the University Federico. So we need a little mortarboard. For the university. It's not coming up. Got Price Smart. But I need a university. Give me a university. So yeah, UFHEC. Where is this? It's a private university. It's a private university, friends. Okay, so Santo Domingo, because it's obvious that we're there. I'm just trying to get the road. I know what city it is, but let's see if we can get the road. See if we can find the road. Okay, there's a few different campuses. Oh, that makes it a bit more difficult, doesn't it? University campus. University, is that a campus over here? It looks like a campus, yeah, definitely. Okay. Cool. What have we got? A minute left. We've got a minute left. Okay. Carrying Bay Tours. That's that. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna go. Let's see. Where's that main road there? And then we can just go to this part here, and then zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna say we're about here. Should we just say here on Abraham Lincoln Street? That'll do, won't it? Or maybe on Churchill Street. I don't know. I don't care. Here we go. Woo! I was 2.8 kilometers away. So I said I was there. I was actually over here. So where's the university? Oh, it's there. Look. See that little fella there? Can you see my pointer? Can you see how I'm pointing at? There's a little mortarboard. The Dominican Republic stop signs say pair. This is unlike most other North American countries. That's the first thing I said. I'm okay with this, actually. I'm okay with this job. It's one job that I'm not brilliant at, but I'm all right. Tarkastad. That's got to be Tarkastad. I mean, I'd like to say that it's clearly it's clearly somewhere in the north. What's it called? Somewhere in Norway or something, but no way is this Norway. I mean, look at the ground. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Strekstrom and Dordrecht. Yeah. Yeah, this is South Africa. Pretty obviously South Africa. So what is that? Is that the road? It's the R344 that we've got to look for. Okay. Right, we've got bags of time to do this, so let's jump in. Let's see, make sure I can spell this right. Tarkastad. Tarkastad. Burgersdorp. What a name! What a name for a place, Burgersdorp. I love that. Fuck, I can't find this place. Mortimer, Adelaide. Is the Konami there? Okay. Kendrew. Oh god, there's too many places. What have we got? We've got Konomi there. We've got next. Oh, Tarkastad. I can see it. 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 Okay, there's Tarkastad there. And that's on the R344. So we're down here somewhere. And then we've got these options here for Sturkstrom. I'm sorry, this is like way too small for people to see. I mean, I could just expand it a little bit. I don't know if that's going to fuck me up somewhere else, but I'll just make it a little bit bigger for you to be able to read what I'm actually looking at. Molento. So maybe I'm here. Maybe I'm here at this junction here. Where's Molento though? Molento. Can't see Molento. Sturkstrom or Dorst. Sturstrom. Oh, bollocks. Running out of time. Bloody shit. Sturkstrom. Where is that? That is there. Okay. Next. Sturkstrom. Oh god, we've only got a few seconds left. Oh, I'll just do it there. Okay. Oh, I was on this road. Okay. Oh. I was on the R. No. Sorry. I pressed it on the R6. Why did I do that? Sturkstrom. Oh, damn it. That's where we were. Damn it. If I had found Sturkstrom on the map I was looking for, I couldn't see it. But if I could have found it and put it into Sturkstrom and then seen that just took me too long. Sorry, everyone. Bit of a disappointment, but never mind. Okay, so where are we? Where the fuck are we? This looks like Europe. This looks very Europe to me. We can't have Switzerland again, can we? We have Switzerland twice. Are they fucking with us? Are you fucking with us? We got a sign here. Okay, this is good. Romania. So we're in Romania, clearly, because it says .ro there. And then it's got +40, which is the dialing code for from Romania. I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, it is. So we need to suss out where we are in Romania, which is here. It's a big country, so this might be difficult. Okay, so we're in the countryside. So, and there's some hills. Here. So I'm feeling it should be more south towards the border with Bulgaria. That's my feeling. I've got a feeling that tonight's going to be the night that we go to Bulgaria. There's a map. There is a map. Give me a good shot of this map. Come on. You know you want to give me a good shot of that map. Oh, I can't read that. The quality's not good enough. God damn it, Janet. Oh, hang on. There's a sign here. There's another sign. I saw a sign. Oh God, no! Don't do this. Oh, what are you doing to me? Let's have a look. There's oh, okay. Connacht. What does Connacht mean? Does Connacht? Does it mean? Oh, what's this? Connacht. Oh shit! Hang on. Connacht. What does that mean in Romanian? So you learn stuff as you go here. No, Connacht. No, that doesn't mean anything. La Connacht. Okay. I don't think that's it. Oh, here we go. Ha. Ooh. Comuna Fundo Moldovia. Okay. Fundu Mol. This must be up by in the north then. Fundu. Oh, it's a place. Cool. Where is it? Oh God, it's right at the top. It's right at the top. Me going, I think it's in the south. It's not. It's here somewhere. Fuck, I'm running out of time. Let's just go there. Near enough. Oh, yes. 17 kilometers away. Woo. Hurrah. So there you go. Holy poles. In Romania, you will frequently come across holy poles. Do you know what helps as well? when you're looking like actual phone numbers and web addresses that end in .ro. There you go. So that was good. That was fun, wasn't it? That was fun. I got 24,253 points. There you go. Somebody else got 23,999 points. I got 24,000. So I win. Don't miss a day. But surely people just sign up on a different account and then they do the 5 places and then they just sign into another account and they know where it's going to be. I don't know. South Africa. Thanks for doing the longer streams. Thanks, SG, for South Africa. Immediately, that looks like Carpathians, Bazov, Sibiu area. Polesti is the only place in Romania I know. I bet it's not pronounced Polesti. I bet it's pronounced something else. Haven't got a clue where that is. Yeah, it was near the border with Moldova. Well, not that close, but fairly close to the border with Moldova. Okay, friends, I hope you are feeling awesome. Now we're going to, I'm just going to wrap up, see if there's any breaking news before I go. Nope, there isn't. And I'm hungry. I am Hungary. I'm not the country Hungary. I'm a human being. But I need to go and have some breakfast. So leave me to my granola. And I will say thank you so much for watching. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a show tonight anyway. I know I normally do the Friday night social, but we'll stop doing that. We're going to be doing it on Sundays instead. Swayed by debate. And that was like half the people who voted said that we should keep it on. There were 3 options. There was like, keep it on Friday, move it to Sunday, or I don't care either way. And the winning one was I don't care either way by a mile. So it's about like 25% said Sunday, 25% said Friday, and 50% said I don't care either way. So on that basis, that 75% of people who responded either don't care or want it on Sunday, I'm going to go for Sunday. And yeah, I could make the same argument for keeping it on Friday, but there you go. Climbing in Romania is pretty wild and still lots of new areas to explore. Yes. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. If you do me a little favor before you go, since you've held on this long, if you could possibly give us one of those little thumbs up things, a little like. Also, if we get one more super chat in the next 1 minute and 30 seconds, we can release the confetti cannon just before we go. If not, don't worry about it. We can go our own separate ways. It's fine. It's fine. But I've run out of coffee. I don't have any water with me. My throat's going a bit. So I am going to have to wrap up there. But yeah, give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because it means that the next time I do a show, you'll be able to add your weigh into the conversation. And also, if you are already a part of the gang, if you've already joined the channel, and that's an option as well. I don't talk about this enough. You can join the channel. You get a little... you get a rose after your name, like SG has a rose after her name there. And who else got a question about sanity? Doesn't have. Do you have a rose? Is that a rose? No, that is a rose. Yeah, it doesn't look like it because it's very dark blue, isn't it? Question about Absanity has been a member for quite a long time. You get the rose after you, and you get your name in the credits when I finally fucking got around to updating them at the end of the show. How cool is that? And I am giving serious consideration to having a socialites show. Maybe, I don't know if I'll be able to do it every week, but I'm thinking of doing a show where you are invited to come on the show. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be a bit fucking mad. But I'm formulating ways of making it so that the people in the chat can actually come on the show and talk about shit. If they wanna, and in order to do that, you will have to be a member of the channel. So what I'll be doing is, this is why it's worth hitting the bell notification icon. I'll be putting out before the show, I'll put out a thing for members only, a post on YouTube that only members can see, and it will be a link to There'll be a link to a Zoom meeting. Phil Morehouse's Zoom meeting, because I still use Phil's Zoom. Thanks, Phil, for letting me use your Zoom for the last 3 years. But yes, and you'll be able to come on the show as the show is going. So that could be interesting. It could be a fucking disaster. It could be boring as fuck. It could be hilarious. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And if it goes well, we'll make it a regular feature. So there you go. I was hoping that maybe we could get another last super chat in before we went, so I could fire off the confetti cannon. But sadly, it's not to be. But so I'll just time for me to say thanks very, very much for watching. You're all absolutely bloody awesome and lovely and amazing. And I'm doing 2 things at once here, which is never a good idea. But I hope that you are all having a wonderful, wonderful time, and have a great weekend if I don't see you before. And until we meet again, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Bye.